Welcome to the show. This is Comics.
You guys are all watching the Artist Roundtable.
Hey everybody, it's Gerald and Jason with Comics Cast Let It Out.
Thanks for having me again, man. I appreciate it.
This just comes from watching Lord of the Rings too much, basically. And
Thank you.
Oh wow, what a morning or afternoon for that matter. So hey, I want to welcome everybody to Comics Cast Let It Out on a beautiful January 31st day. Snow is coming down here in Virginia. I think it's snowing out there, Rick. Or no, it's not Rick, it's the best around. So Rick, say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Anyway, I want to welcome our audience here. Hopefully, we're going to get people coming in here. I want to apologize for the little bit of delay that we had, just some unforeseen circumstances, but it's going to be a great show, and we're going to have the best around, which is my co-host Rick. He's back with me today. I couldn't be more thrilled. We had the honor of having my co-founder Joe Tolliver those last few episodes, but Rick was a little bit on a hiatus. He was just taking a little break because, he had the paparazzi. I don't know about that, but we have actually some exciting news for Comics Cast. I'm going to share that at the end of the show, and it involves the best around right beside me, Rick. The best around has something very special that we're going to share at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. So, like I said, this is a great. It's another Sunday. We had a little bit of delay, but it's going to be totally worth the wait. Okay. And that being said, let's take care of some little shameless self-promotion. Rick, before you pull up our YouTube page, I just want to talk about what Comics Cast Let It Out is. Comics Cast is basically we're a group where we want to promote independent creators, and that includes pencilers, writers, inkers, publishers, you name it. If they're in indie market or if they're indie creative, we want to promote them. We want to get our audience's eyes on their IPs, their OCs, and hopefully make them successful, because in our eyes, they are already successful. So the good thing about Let It Out, it's a little bit different. We do showcase these independent creators, but we have a draw along component. So that is something that we pride ourselves on, and we encourage our audience, that's you guys, to draw along with us and interact with us. Ask questions of our guest, ask us questions, ask Rick, because I know you probably want to compliment him on that styling new haircut that he has going on right now.
Yeah. I was tired of looking like a caveman, so now I look like a caveman that just cut himself.
I guess so. So that being said, let's talk a little bit about that little bit of the shameless self-promotion. Rick, can you pull up our YouTube page?
Of course, I'm already ahead of you.
Oh, so check that out. Hey, it has a little bit of a yellow cast to it. That's a little interesting, but you know what?
Sorry that I'm using my...
Is that a gaming mode? Like a gaming
No,
screen mode?
I have to protect my eyes when it's
it's a filter. Okay, great.
Yeah,
gotcha.
There we go.
All right, so here you go. This is if you want to go check us out on YouTube, let me pull up the banner here. So we have a short URL, but I do know that, we have we had a short URL, but thanks to Rick, you can now find us on Indie Comics Cast on YouTube. So that's INDIE Comics Cast. So it's a little bit different from Comics Cast on Facebook, because on Facebook, we're just Comics Cast. On YouTube, we are Indie Comics Cast. So check us out right there. And if you click on the video tab there, Mr. Rick, there you go. So here's the what we like to call, we have a plethora of videos for your viewing enjoyment. These show all of our Let It Out past, I think all of our past Let It Out episodes, as well as some of our ART, which is the Artist Roundtable. You get to see the bumper that we just showed at the very beginning, which we debuted this year. There's going to be some short little segments where we cut out excerpts from past videos, but there's tons of good resources here where you can check out our guests' work, be able to see what they drew, and if you need to follow up with them, you can always find all of them here. And I encourage you to wait a minute, I think you should like and subscribe. And it looks like this is from Denmark, but I assume that little red button there, you did not. How did you unsubscribe us? I don't get that.
I don't know. It's like magic.
It's like magic. All right. Yeah. Let's just say that hopefully that doesn't happen to everybody else, but do what Rick did. I think Rick just does that now because he wants to illustrate how easy it is to like and
It's
follow
2 clicks,
us.
guys.
It's 2 clicks, 2 clicks. So that being said, I'm so happy that we pitched our YouTube and our Facebook. So please like and subscribe, to us here at Comics Cast. Let it out. So let's get to the meat and potatoes of the show, which is our guest. So, hey, we got Allison. Allison's complimenting you on your great haircut. you got a fan there, So anyway, let's remove that banner there for a sec. And all right. Oh, you got our partner in crime, Joe. Joe, what did Joe say? Oh, and Sarah?
Yes, don't forget to draw with our great indie pros. We'll remind them. Don't worry, boss.
Exactly. Joe is going to be like he's going to be the guy in the chair that's going to be like watching over us to make sure we do it right. So let's do the drum roll here, the virtual drum roll, and let's welcome our guest for today, who is Mr. John Ottinger. So, hey, I want to welcome you to the show, Mr. Ottinger. I'm just going to call you John because I think we're good friends now. I think that after we did that marathon pre-show, I think we should have been broadcasting yesterday because we had a lot of good conversation, lots of good things to talk about, and we're going to share that today. So first off, John, say hello to everybody.
Hi, thanks everyone for coming.
Everybody is already saying hello to you.
Yeah, John is a
hello,
little bit.
Hello.
Yeah, John is a bit of a celebrity already. I know in the circles that we've been traveling with indie Comics Cast, what I call the indie circuit. I heard some good things about John before I even met him, and I was like, why weren't we friends before? Because every show, my guests are phenomenal, and this is no exception. We're gonna have a phenomenal time, and it's gonna be a pleasure to showcase the man here, John Ottinger, and his great artwork. And he's a multi-talented independent creator. And when I say independent creator, he just doesn't create comics. But we are going to talk about his comic that's out there that everybody can buy immediately. But we're going to talk about, not only is he the quadruple threat, I guess he's a writer, he's an inker, he's a colorist, he's a penciler. Editor, and then he also does sculpting. He does animatronic type things. I mean, there's no limit to this guy's talent. So before we get to the little intro, I want to show you below, which is how you can get in touch with John. So he's on John Ottinger on Instagram and Facebook. You can just do a search for him. You can also find him, or you can email him at that live.com email address. Hey, Roy, how you doing? So, yep, and Roy is saying hello to you, John. Roy is somebody who's been.
We got a lot of people saying hello here. Allison, Sarah, Raphael, Philip.
Toy. Yeah, lots of people already. They know who you are, John. So I want to encourage everybody to check out his Instagram and his Facebook page. You can see that below. If you look in the comments field, there's a really long URL for his Comixology page where you can get his books. Because the book today we're going to talk about is, let me make sure I don't screw that up. It's DWEORES. DWEORES, right? Is that correct?
DWEORES.
DWEORES.
Get it right, Carol.
So, yes. Yeah. So I got to get it right. So DWEORES. It's such a. I'm not even gonna let the cat out of the bag. I'm gonna let you hear it from the horse's mouth. I'm gonna let John talk about it. Before he does, though, this is the part of the show we're gonna go into, which is called the elevator pitch. Thankfully, you have more than one floor to tell us about yourself, John. And it's basically going to be you telling us a little bit about your, who you are, what you're about, where you've been, your journey up to this point. And, we're going to show in the background some of these works that are from DWEORES. And I want to encourage everybody, you got to stick around because we're focusing on DWEORES at the beginning of the show, but at the end of the show, we're going to show some of his other things, the other things that he's done. So definitely check out all of his links that I've shared with you. But check it out after you watch this show.
What was the name of the title again, Joel?
You asking me or John? Because you have some.
I'm asking you.
DWEORES. It's called DWEORES. So
Okay.
I spent many minutes in front of the mirror going, DWEORES, don't screw that up, make sure you see it right. Anyway, so here I'm passing the mic over to you, John, and you give us your elevator pitch while I show some of your artwork. And here you go.
Okay. Well, I'm from a small town in California. Our family business growing up is we decorated shopping centers at Christmas time. So my whole life I've designed Santa's workshop and the castles and all the elves and bears. And then I'd go in the back and have to make it. So we'd cut the frames out of wood, we'd do metalworking, figure out electronics and electric motors, sculpt the heads, mold them, work with customers. And so I've been creating worlds my whole life and kids entertainment my whole life. And then from there we did all the window displays at Universal Studios, big Christmas sleighs at Knott's Berry Farm. I've designed 100 parade floats. We manufactured little plaster gift characters. So like after school we'd go pour hundreds of molds and then demold them and then hand paint them. And then at high school I started designing mechanical little figures that we started importing from overseas. So we were importing stuff I was designing, very toy-like stuff since high school. Then I went to art school in Pasadena, Art Center. A little really small art school up in the hills. It's really nice. And then I started going to Comic-Con so much, and then I wanted to, after like 10 years of that, I'm like, and I'm a huge Star Wars lover. I'm like, well, where's mine? Right?
That's right.
I'm like, where's mine? I go, am I not going to take a shot? I'm not even going to try it. And so I go, I'm going to create a special world to inspire people's imagination. And that's what I kind of created with the DWEORES. I love toy robots. I have hundreds in my studio. And so I just put a chair and I sat and stared at them for like an hour. And I go, well, what are these? And they were really just, after an hour, I'm like, they're just cool shapes and colors. I don't have an instant emotional connection with these. So I wrote down, the property needs to have an instant emotional connection. And then on NPR, I heard how in Asia, and that market's going to be a huge player in the next decade. And they go, okay, so it needs to work in Eastern culture and Western culture. And those were the parameters of the brand. And so I started sketching on my train ride every day. And I would sketch and trying to figure out what it's going to be. I knew there's a robot. And then going through Orange County, there's a big water tower. I looked up and saw that out the window. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I threw away the other papers. And I go, that's the basics of my shape, is going to be that water tower. And so that's how I started the DWEORES, with that water tower face. And then I put a really powerful icon on the front of it. And the most powerful icon that resonates globally is the smiley face. And that from psychology classes, I've learned why it's so powerful, why it resonates, is because when you're a baby and born, babies don't have focal length. Everything's blurry. And they see golden light. And so every smiley face you see is your mother looking down at you, smiling. And so it's imprinted on every human on the planet. And so that's why I put that big face on the front of the DWEORES. And that's how I kind of started. And I just started off as a small independent art project. And I had no intention of starting a comic book. I thought it would be like a sketchbook or something. And then I got a spot at Comic-Con in San Diego, and then everyone wanted the story. And I'm like, okay, I'll figure out how to do that, right? So I just study writing, story arts. I already was a Joseph Campbell fan.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
And so I just had to figure it out. And then I made a 5-year story arc in my head and started laying the story out for the DWEORES. And just trying to make something new and special for people to dream about. Because I love DC and Marvel and Star Wars, but I want to give them a new place that they can imagine. And so that was kind of the start. That's my elevator pitch.
That is such a great story. And, when we were talking about, yesterday when we were talking about the origin of DWEORES or these characters, you mentioned, I think, a little bit here about your journey on a train. You're in California, you take a train, I'm assuming it's to go to work. And as you're on the train, you see those water towers, and that became the basis of the inspiration for these design choices for, these adorable, just really great character designs. But you also mentioned to me, and Rick, you're gonna get a treat out of this, because I've often, one of my biggest criticisms for my particular art style is it's a little bit wonky. I have a little bit of an errant line. I'm a little sketchy and stuff like that. But when you look at John's work, he came up with this stuff while he was making use of every bit of time. And this was like his commute on a train. And he was looking out the window. He was being inspired by these water towers. And then he sees, as he's drawing, the rumble of the train. It created like this kind of shaky style, the sketchy style. And rather than, like, oh, I'm going to have to like refine that or whatever, I'm going to have to like go back and redraw it. John, you told me that became part of the signature art style for this. Tell us a little about that. Tell us a little about that.
So on the train, I would try to draw, but it was so bumpy. I couldn't do control drawings. And I'm like, I can't draw on the train, but I hate wasting time. And so I would listen to music like the Gorillas or something that kind of painted worlds in my head. And I started using the bumpiness and the energy of that music and the train. And I used the glass of the train looking out was like a Photoshop filter to my world. So everything I saw on the other side of that, in my mind, that's a filter that was a window into a different world. So when I saw the water tower, that was the DWEORES. And I saw a big hangar, that became, my twisted version in my world. And so I developed this really energetic, loose style where it's kind of handcrafted. There's nothing precise at all in this. And that's kind of the approachability of this brand. And I just wanted it different because everything on the market looks so controlled and so tight and so beautiful. And I'm a 180 guy. And so I'm like, I'm going to do the opposite. And so this fit perfect with that philosophy. So this is the energy of the music and the train and that glass as my filter. And I did that for years building up this world.
Well, I'm gonna say that I'm part of the John Ottinger school of philosophy when it comes to art style. So that's the reason why my style is wonky. It's loose and it's energetic. It's because of John.
Yeah.
So now you finally got an excuse, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. I have a total excuse.
Listen, I have never criticized your style in that sense that it's bad. I've just said you needed more control of doing it. Either take it full on or not at all. And John shows that he decided to take it full on and make it work for him.
He embraced it, and
I absolutely love it. It gives a different sort of life, and it has this childish feel to it in what I expect is your goal, because you want to reach different ages and not just teenagers and up. So there's a lot of reach in the way you approach this, and I really like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow up with that because everything about it's like he embraced the style. And I was talking to John yesterday about this. You don't see any rulers here. Everything is hand drawn. It has this roughness about it, but it's endearing. It's a very nice quality, and it makes you feel like, he was talking about the psychology behind his design choices and how that whole interesting psychology about as newborn babes, when they're looking at their parents, they only see like general forms. The reason why John, maybe I'm just a big baby, I guess. I just love, I saw that smiley face and I was like, that looks so cool. And it's like, I just totally fell in love with his character designs, and those colors were so rich. And I'm looking at this And I hope this is not something, he's talking about, these are things he sees out the window on his commute to California. So I'm hoping there's no tanks in trees that are like in California there. But it's just
it is America, so it can happen.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
There's big construction equipment.
Construction equipment, yes. It's not a tank.
Yeah.
It's a construction equipment, and it's just so cool. I don't. You know what you should do, John? You should go on that commute one more time and take some pictures. And like when you do, like you should put them side by side with your. Because I know that you're going to blow up, and there's going to be a behind the scenes of your future Netflix production of the DWEORES, and it'd be great to see some of these inspirational choices in terms of like you looking out the window. I mean, when you were describing how that window was a filter, I want our audience really to just pay attention to how this creator, John, took like something like his everyday commute to just sort of use that as a means to focus, to find an idea, find his creation in it. And that window was a portal to DWEORES, and everything that he saw whether it was the water towers or the construction equipment or maybe these fantastic trees, he really extracted that, and you're seeing that here in some of these sequentials. So I'm going to tell you guys, you have to go check out those links that I put in the comments field. Not now, but check it out, because we really want you to just experience DWEORES. Buy the book. It's just so incredible. There are 6 volumes, or is it 6 volumes? There's 6 volumes, and you're not going to regret it. These are sample pages. Now, John, I noticed we talked about this yesterday. These are black and white, and there's a for me, I feel like there's a reason. I mean, I look at this, and we got to see that phenomenal color artwork for the covers, and we saw some prints and things like that. But I see such charm in these black and white illustrations. I look at this, and I actually find myself looking at every individual leaf and blade of grass. And can you tell us a little bit about your intention for that?
Well, it's just like when I would look at the masters in an art history book, and I would see their sketch for the painting, and then they had a beautifully perfect rendered painting. I always liked the sketch better. It had the energy and had the imperfections, and beauty is imperfections. Like you see a fashion magazine on the rack, and it's perfect. It's perfectly symmetrical, and the model is beautiful. You're attracted and repelled at the same time. It's kind of a give and take. But if the model, their smile's a little bit crooked, or maybe their tooth's a little crooked, that's the entry point into their beauty, is those imperfections. And everyone in my world, the DWEORES world, has these imperfections. It's either physical or something. It's the line quality. It's that beauty in it not being perfect. And that's kind of the entry point into the design, in my belief. That's what I'm trying to go for.
That is
so relatable.
Yeah, and that's what I also like. I picked up on our conversation yesterday. DWEORES, I think, is such an appealing thing to me because, just like Rick said, it applies. It's applicable to all age groups, all demographics. I mean, you don't have to you look at this, and I think there's something in there for everybody. And what you just said, John, about finding the light and in the imperfection. Whether it's if you go literally in terms of like not the perfect line, not the tightly controlled line, there's that, but it's also your characters. To me, when I look at them and you describe to me about them, they all have imperfections. They all have like things that I think that even though they're not human, that's what makes us human. And when I'm looking at this, it's like there's a character in your universe that's for everybody. And you talked about also George Lucas, how that's a major influence on you, and how with Star Wars, and I think that fits great in your Star Wars universe. The DWEORES universe is that it's the dirty, it's like the gritty, dirty universe. Nothing looks like it's pristine or super polished. It has that grit and grime, but that's like true of humans. We're just like that, and I think that's what I find so appealing. Yeah.
You're gritty as hell, Gerald.
Okay.
Before I let you talk, John, I need I just like to, before we go away with this black and white thing here, talk here, that I personally love it, mostly because your style fits it, but as you explained, you tend to see more detail when it's black and white because with when there's color on it, that helps the eye guide you. So now when it's black and white, you're forced to look into those details yourself. Whereas with the colors, it would be easier for you to just go over them quickly. And now with the black and white, you have to look a little longer at each picture and get those small Easter eggs here and there that I already see and love. Easter eggs are a good thing to put in the comic.
The human mind works is to look at something, you see it as symbols. And if it's colored, you see it as symbols quicker and dismiss it. But to see it, not look at it, without the color, you can see it a little better. Not that I don't love color, but for at this point in this world, I think it works for it. And the imperfection in them, the DWEORES discovered the secret of life, and they're beat up and they're scratched and they're imperfect and not quite symmetrical. They've had a hard life. They've fallen 100 times. They've had so many bad things happen to them, but they figured out the secret of life is how to be happy, even though that happened to you.
That is so
that's kind of an underlying message.
I'm just eating that up. That is such a great way to frame your story and the world of DWEORES. I find myself, it's like maybe we all should adopt the DWEORE philosophy and find out what that secret of life is. Find the beauty in the imperfection. That's
the goal, right?
Yeah, I think that is wonderful. And again, I can't stress it enough. People, our audience, you got to check out John's work. It's just incredible. So, that being said, let's we talked about the creation. We kind of skipped over this. I want to know what does I obviously pronouncing it DWEORES. That was a challenge for me, but DWEORES is it's so well for me. It was hard to pronounce. Rick, because he's the best around, he nailed pronouncing it correctly right off the bat, because that's Rick for you. But I'm gonna say that with DWEORES, and he, because he's actually even in Denmark, and he knew how to pronounce it correctly. But when I was looking at it, DWEORES, part of me was like, it's even if I mispronounced it, and I look at the logo, and there's so many things. We talked about your cerebral process in terms of like how you came up with just the character design, but the name design, you approached it from the same deeply thoughtful approach in terms of like what DWEORE, when you came up with the word DWEORE, and also the logo design. So let's talk a little bit first about the meaning behind DWEORES and why you chose that. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. Well, I searched for a name, and I was going through a lot of dictionaries and thesauruses, and then I came across the word DWEORES, and it's an old English word that's really not used anymore, and it's means little person or something small or something like that, because I have a heroine, May, in my story. So in my mind, it's like, oh, it's May, and there's 700 DWEORES. It kind of parallels that, but it's difficult to pronounce, and it's an unusual word. So, but I remember when I was a kid, I came home from school, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was being interviewed on TV, and he'd just done one of his first U.S. movies, the Mr. Universe movie. I can't remember the exact name. And the host was saying, "You got to change your name, Schwarzenegger. It'll never work in the United States." But he's actually very intelligent guy, and he said, "I know it's very difficult, but once they know it, that's empowerment to them, and they get to go to the next person." And Arnold Schwarzenegger, and now it rolls off everyone's tongue globally. A very unusual word, but that's the entry point into it. And so the logo is a little difficult to read. I know that. I didn't want to look like a Coca-Cola brand or something with instantaneous communication. The DWEORES, you got to work, and there's layers and layers of thought that I put in everything. So the letters are all interlocked, and it's a little difficult to read, and it's an unusual word. But once you know it, it's instantaneous and it's empowering. And so
Yeah.
that's another entry point into the brand that I'm trying to create with DWEORES. Just another level. I overthink everything.
No, I don't.
thought into everything in this.
This is not bad overthinking. This is good overthinking because my experience, my day job, I do graphic design, and everything that you just said is I agree with you 100%. Because yes, instantly, I mean, it's sort of like you have to know the rules to break the rules, and I think you knew the rules and what you wanted to achieve with here, and that allowed you to break the rules here. In terms of even just coming up with the name DWEORES and what it means and how it relates to your IP, but also this logo. I look at it now not so much as DWEORES, but I look at it as individual design elements that create interesting forms. So like if you were to look at this from a logo standpoint, it's kind of like character design. You want to come up with interesting silhouettes so that it becomes instantly recognizable, even if you don't see all the detail. The same thing with this logo is if you look at it as a logo form versus logo type, in terms of it being individual letters and spelling out a word, you just look at the shapes and how they're interlocking. And to me, it's like you said, it's the visual representation of Schwarzenegger. You see this interesting form and immediately it's DWEORES. So this is the kind of cerebral approach that you can get out of John in terms of all his works.
One thing you have to be careful for when you design logos as well is making it too messy. And I think that, John, you hit it right in the spot before it became too messy, because you have the logo now where people have to stop for a second and actually read what it says. So just by doing it that way, you already grab their attention enough to make them interested in some way or the other. So that's just brilliant logo designing, in my opinion.
Exactly. I'm gonna follow up on that. It is so cool because it also has that, you said, the layerness, and it looks like these characters are mechanical, so it has almost like interlocking gears. Just phenomenal design.
And I see it animated. Every time I look at it, I see it in the dark and these letters coming out and interconnecting. And,
yeah, sure.
Right.
It has so much. It has so much. It has action. It has movement, and it have enough clearance to it that you want to know what it is instead of just ignoring it because it's too messy. Because, as I said, it's just on the tip of becoming too messy. So you really nailed it.
Yeah, you found that happy middle ground between.
Yeah. Well, I did draw it all on the train too. So that whole thing, a little bit of that came from that energy too.
Well, you nailed it. Very cool. And I just want to show this again because all these covers.
Hang on,
Joe.
Oh. You need to show that mark. You need to show that mark to the viewers.
Show the what?
This
yes.
Vintage 1977.
Oh,
mug. So
1977.
Drink, I'm like, yeah, this is the real stuff.
Wow, so, amazing.
1977.
That's the to my creativity is I only drink from this mug.
Oh,
right.
He drinks from the skull of Chewbacca, guys. Be careful. Right. From the skull of Chewbacca.
Yeah. The question is what? The question is what is in that mug? Not so much the mug, but what's in the mug. But yeah, that is.
This is a PG stream. We are not supposed to talk about that.
Well, it could be chocolate milk. That's what or blue milk. Blue milk, right? It could be blue milk because if you're a true Star Wars fan, you know that blue milk is the way to go. That's how Luke got his Jedi powers. Lots of blue milk.
Delicious blue milk.
Blue milk. But going back to like this artwork here, I'm going to give more props to John here in terms of just you look at this stuff and you look at like other artists. They may just do they do the illustration, they do the guts of it, but the brand itself, the titles, and any of the flourishes that go around it, that maybe is done by another artist, another designer. John did this whole thing. I was talking to him about this. Look at the little intricate works in terms of the framing, how he puts it in there. It's so perfect. It could be used like, we could see this as a poster. You could see this as a trading card.
My first thought was actually, hey, this has, even though the style is different, this has some like Magic the Gathering collector's cards to it.
Yes.
I really liked it.
I think John is on like he researched it and figured out how many genres, how many demographics, how many boxes could he check in terms of like where I can get the most appeal for his artwork, and DWEORES is that. What were you gonna say, John?
Like George Lucas did. In Star Wars is just all the things he loved. He gathered together, but then gave them all a 180 twist, so they're unrecognizable. And that's what this is. The DWEORES. I love robots. I love Star Wars. I love all the fantasy, Lord of the Rings, card games, and all that. And I combined everything I love, but tried to make it look like it's mine and give it that twist. And that's the magic that George could do in those movies, is take everything he loved but change it so it's unrecognizable and it's his. And that's part of the
look at that one.
Yeah,
I think this one is my favorite.
Yeah, this one and this one are my favorites. Because to me, I get a sense of, for this, it's scale, it's scope, it's like this, the vastness of this world that John is creating, and it's all expressed in this illustration. Because we have this gargantuan robot or character that's in the background, and then you have them in the foreground, and they're perched on the edge of this cliff and this rock face, and it just feels like it's immense. It feels like it's a huge universe. There's a great expanse, and then
it also reminds me, before you go on, this also reminds me a little of Adventure Time.
Of what was that again? Of Winter Time?
Adventure Time.
Oh, Adventure Time. Yes, it does. It does have that vibe to it, and the colors are so.
And again, that helps with the appeal to a broader audience, like finding different stuff like that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Right. Like
and
horse, then everyone said it doesn't look like a horse, and I'm like, I know. It looks a little bit like a horse, just what I want. But everyone kept telling me, no, you got to make it look like a horse. And I'm like, they go, that's not where the magic is.
Hey, I can make it look like whatever I want to. Okay, I'm the creator.
Yeah, exactly. And then to follow up on this one, which is Rick's favorite, and I like this one too. This comes in second for me, but I look at this one, and you see so much energy. I mean, just aside from that great blue flame of energy that's in the background, that's there, but it's like you can see this animated just instantly. And you found that way of that imperfect line, that unpolished line, making it work, and I'm just eating it up. I mean, it's just even like how you just have that handlebar that's up in the upper corner where it just happens to fall into the line of the sun, and you have the birds there, and then you have the color there opposite of it with the sword arm there. I just look at this and it's so visually appealing to me, and I'm instantly drawn to it.
I have a suggestion, John.
Yes.
Okay.
On Facebook, right? You can make these 3D pictures. So that have that third dimensional effect to it. Yeah. I really think these cards would work really great with that effect. Yeah. I'll also, if you contact me, I'll happily do it for you, set it up for you, and everything. But I really think that would make it look even much better than it is already.
Yeah, I agree.
That help. And
yeah, it'll look really cool because.
Oh, I'm sorry. Speaking.
Oh no. Yeah.
My first year at Comic-Con, I'm just on a card table, and I have my little sketchbook out for the DWEORES, and then this really cool guy comes up, and he's just like, hey, what is this? Tell me about this. So I tell him about the world and stuff, and show him some pictures, and I only had the sketchbook at the time. He says, I love it. I go, here's my card. I'm from Facebook, and would you consider making stickers for us? And I'm like, yeah. I go, sure. So there's 2 sets of DWEORES stickers you could get for free on Facebook and use them. So that helped bring worldwide recognition to the brand. People see it from other places. They go, "This looks familiar. I've seen this before." And I'm like, "Do you have Facebook?" They go, "Yeah." They go, "The stickers. That's what I've seen these before." So they're literally used millions of times every day. I could track the top 50 countries.
Oh,
all
wow.
the demographics. It's a boy-girl property. Yeah, so that's a really fun little sprue that I got really lucky.
Yeah, that is a great story. I just want to follow up on one. There was a question that Rick popped up here was from Ed. He basically was like saying, do you do traditional or do you do digital? And I'll let you answer that question because I already know the answer, but you can kind of like talk about.
I wanted to ask him when we were drawing, Gerald.
Oh, well, obviously he's going to be doing traditional when we're drawing, but I just want to go ahead and answer that question. So, touche. I think it's relevant. Yeah.
For the DWEORES, it's the drawings are all traditional pencil.
Yes,
but
that's
the
what
covers. I draw it and then I color it digital. But I work in both. I'm a trained painter, so I've been trained to paint traditionally, which I love doing. But I also, it's 2010. I mean, you gotta be digital is the future. So I do both. I love both.
That's great.
There's also an important question here from Sarah asking if there's a digital book for the project.
Should I answer that? Because you can go to the comments field. At the very top of the comments field, there's, and we're going to actually showcase it at the end of the show. John's books are available on Comixology. And so if you want to get the digital version, I believe it's like 99 cents for the first book. You get a digital version of it. There is no excuse for everybody just to like take that gamble. It's not even a gamble. I'm telling you guys that it's zero risk. You're going to love it. Yeah.
99 cents for something you've already seen and commented on that you loved looking at. That's nothing, guys.
Yes.
99 cents. Come on.
And if you buy the rest of the books, I think it's like I didn't do the math, but they're all reasonably priced.
1 million
for digital versions. $11 billion. It's $11 billion. No, it's not. It's not even $11 billion. Yes, it's $2.99 for every for the other follow-up issues. But you could buy all 6 of them and not. I don't think it's less than $20 for everything. So
less than $20 for 6 comics with great art, guys. That's a steal.
It's phenomenal. Are you guys getting a little echo, or is it just me? Do you hear that?
Maybe that's because I'm not using headphones.
I just heard it now. I don't know. Anyway, we'll keep on going, and if you guys hear it, let me know. But I just want to make sure that we don't have any audio issues. But this is perfect because now we're at we had a little bit of delay and we had to kind of like rush through a little things. But I think that we covered so much ground and we got to like really talk a lot about all the inspiration and all the things that went into John's art style. So this is the part of the show where we get to draw along with our guest here, and this is the part that every part of the show I look forward to, but this is where I think that our audience is going to have the opportunity to really see art, just John's art come right off the page. We're gonna be able to do that. But Rick, let me share all the character sheets first, and then you can pull up the ones that I sent to you. So let me do that first. Okay. All right. So okay. So here we go. We go here. These are the character sheets because we're only gonna unfortunately we can't draw all the characters. And I don't know if I misheard. Did you say there were 700 or DWEORES or that was
No, right now I have like 50 or 60 characters.
That's still incredible.
700, come on. I mean, John may be amazing, but I think that's a bit. Wow.
Don't underestimate John. He could do 700. I know he could do 700. But I get to share with our audience just we're gonna show a fraction of those 50 characters that he's done, and these are you're gonna be able to look at these, and they do have similar just like if you're drawing human characters, they have obviously body types that or features that are universal among all of them, and these are the water towers and water tower motifs that he sort of set up with them. But if you look at them, you're going to see, look at these character sheets, you're going to see the silhouettes and the expressions, and you're going to see that each one of these DWEORES has a really cool personality among them. And then you see the names that he came up with them. John, I'm just going to let you, you don't have to give
Wait, that's talk show. That's talk show names.
Yeah,
sorry, I just got it.
You got it. So
these are the kids. I introduced some kids in this little trio of kids, and they're like the comedy relief. So I'm like,
yes.
So I kind of put some of my favorite talk show comedy people. They're inspired by them, right?
I
have Conan with he's got his surrender flag and his lucky pipe and his stick in his backpack. Kimmel with his wooden sword, and Ellen, she's the adventurer. So that's kind of my comedy team.
Right.
I just know Jimmy Fallon because he's no fun at all. So why bother, right?
I'm going to say bias much, Rick. But anyway.
Yes.
Just really cool. I like that. You can interject these personalities and have fun with these names, because it's enough to come up with these characters, but then name them, because you're the creator. You can name them in terms of after characters that you find or real people that you find endearing.
Inspired by real people.
Yes, inspired by. So here we have. How do you pronounce this? Is it queso?
Queso.
Or queso,
yes.
like the cheese. Queso.
He's like a teenager in the storyline, and he's got a special power where he could spin his mind and create things. So they put junk in front of him, and then he could just lose himself, and then it's super fast. I mean, he builds something. He doesn't even know what he's built when he's done. And they go, "What did I build?" Something we need, I hope. And so he's kind of a special character.
He's like Tinkerbell. He's a tinkerer. He can put things together, right? So very, very, very cool. All right, so here we have another character. We got Drifter. And I'm looking at this character, and we just saw some of the other characters before, and he has a totally different personality. And just by his body language and his name, you want to tell us a little bit about Drifter?
I'm guessing he's drifting.
Yeah, Drifter's my archer, and he's from the enemy territory, which they had to pass through. And so he became entangled in my main group's mission. And so he's very serious, very tough, slow speaking. And so he's new to the group, but becomes involved with them on their mission against the Queen.
Yep, gotta get the book so you can know more about Drifter. Gotta get the book. So here we go into Yip, and this was that horse character that doesn't look like a horse, that's intentionally not supposed to look like a horse, because looking like a horse is cool. Yip. So exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my heroine's trusty steed. Yep.
Yes.
So I wanted a really cool character that she ride, because the DWEORES, they have those big feet, and those big feet, they could walk normally, but when they go into kind of an action mode, those feet go down, and suddenly they're taller than you, and their bottom part's springy, and they're super swift. They're faster than deers, animals. They can run really fast. And,
right.
So that's one way.
You know it's fast when the sound is. that means fast.
Yeah. So. That's another tip for all of our artists that are on here, or just creators, is if you do if you do sound effects while you're drawing, that's the greatest sign of creativity. That means you're doing it right. If you start doing pew pew noises and shh and biff bang, boom, exactly. Then that means
your drawings. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That means you're doing it right.
We all did that when we was children, so why stop, right?
Exactly.
It helps make it even funnier to create by putting yourself in it. It's obvious that John is doing with his universe, and that helps it for the viewer like us to feel like we're part of it even more.
Exactly. So I'm letting all your secrets out, John, so forgive me, but we want our creators to be just like you, So here we go. We're going to keep on going because we want to get to that live drawing part of it. So here we have the forest puck, And when I looked at this, it immediately reminded me of kind of like yo-yos, like really cool toys. Of course, it's called a puck. So it had there's all sorts of connotations here. I just love this cute acorn one as well. Just brilliant design here. You want to talk a little bit about the Force Puck, like what the genesis
Puck is kind of May's little Tinkerbell. His follows around, kind of got a bad attitude. Doesn't do much until things get tough, and then he reveals himself. I don't want to give too much away.
Okay, yeah.
There's many Force Pucks, but I just have this one that I focus on in the story. He's one of my favorites. He's just
You want to know more? You want to know more about Forest Puck? It's only just under $20 for 6 books. Find out, guys.
Yes, it won't be a secret if you just make that small investment, so you can read more about DWEORES.
Just under $20, guys. It's cheap.
Okay, so here we are. We're about ready to go into our live drawing segment of the show, and this is where the point where I'm going to show this character, and I want people to, if you're watching us with us, I want you guys to participate. I want you guys to be as excited as Rick and I are about John's IPs, his OCs, his original characters, and his the intellectual property here, which is DWEORES. We want you to draw along with us, and if you do, you just need to comment or comment in the comment field, the comment section. You just got to let us know that you are going to be drawing along with us. Rick is going to be monitoring that section really well, and what you're going to do is draw along with us and then post it to our sister page, which is the Art Show on Facebook. But you just need to let us know in the comments field that you are drawing along with us and that it's there, or when it's there, let us know. So what we would like to do is feature that artwork, let John take a gander at it, and he can give you instant feedback in terms of that. To me, it's like, I was talking to him about this yesterday. It's like, it must be a tremendous feeling when people want to draw your characters. And I told him I want to draw his characters, and now I have my opportunity to do that. And I hope our audience has the same feeling to want to do that as well.
I want to draw his characters, but my boss tells me I'm here to moderate, so I can't set them.
I did not say that. I did not say that, but I think that
you totally said that, yo.
I did not. As much as I think that Rick is a multi-talented guy and he can multitask everything, he told me that he would rather man the chat section rather than draw along, but he's so heartbroken that he would love to draw after the show and show his appreciation for how DWEORES has impacted his life now that he's seen the wonderful artwork that we're
my life has changed upside down, just like Will Smith and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. My life got upside down.
Yeah, so are you saying you're the Fresh Prince? Is that what you are? I think he's saying he's the Fresh Prince.
Well, I'm fresher.
Okay, all right, we got somebody. Allison is already saying she's going to be drawing along, so we know we have at least one person who's going to be drawing along with us.
We know we have two because Sarah is going to join. She always joins.
Awesome. We got two. Sarah's been she's one of our new. Since this new year began, Sarah has been a trooper. She's been, I would have to say, she's our first indie comics cast groupie. We love her. We're glad that she draws along with us. Where she's going to be, and that's part of the secret that we're going to share at the end of the show with Rick. That we will get on there a little bit later on. But here, okay, so I'm going to be setting up my art cam, and while I do that, John's already set up. But
I was just about to say. We also got Roy Mercado as always.
Oh, we got Roy in there. So we got
Roy.
We got four. Okay, I'm going to show what our character is, and this is what we took some feedback from our guests, our audience, that about yesterday. Oh, someone's calling you out for not delivering.
Yeah, I know.
So we'll get to that later because it's all about our guest here right now. So I'm going to show who we're going to be doing right now, and I took some constructive feedback from some of our viewing audience over past shows. I'm going to be giving Rick also these character sheets. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show them right now at the beginning, and of course we're going to show our live drawing cams afterwards. So then this will be removed from here. But throughout the show. Or throughout the drawing time period, Rick is going to be showing the characters again, so you can, if you forgot about certain details or if you need to see them again, he's going to flash them.
Comment down below if you want me to flash it.
Yes.
The pictures.
Yes. You want to make sure that Rick is flashing the pictures of the DWEORES. So we're gonna make that very clear about what he's going to be showing.
I get so easily confused. So please.
Yes, he does. Sometimes things can get lost in the translation because flashing in Denmark means something flashing different here in the United States. I don't know.
No, I think flashing means flashing, but let's carry on.
Let's carry on. All right, here we go. Hanzo. I'm going to say that Hanzo has a very obviously Japanese, it sounds like it, but I can't help when I was showing this to Rick before you got on the show, John. When I said it the first time, I didn't say it like Hanzo. I said it like Hanzo, and he said like Han Solo, and I had to say, was there like a you're a big Star Wars fan, so I don't know. Was there double meaning by calling him Hanzo and Han Solo? I don't know. Before we get to drawing it. Save it. Actually, let's save that story. Yeah, let's save that for while we're live drawing, because that way we can have stuff to talk about. So, Rick, I'm going to unshare my screen right now, and I'm going to let you control the art cams while I get mine up there. And so people, take one last look here of Hanzo or Han Solo, and I want you to look at him. Hanzo, yeah. Wow. So look at him. He looks like a tough guy, and notice the double katanas here. He does have both. It looks like, yeah. So you can see all the really strong features that make Hanzo very unique. So soak it up, look at it real quick, and again, if you want to see this again before we start drawing, what is it? What did Joe say? Type sent to art show in the YouTube chat field when you're So follow what Joe said here. Let us know that you are drawing along so we can be sure to see it. So here's the one last.
And when you've sent it, let us know as well in the comments below.
Exactly. Rick is going to be paying attention to that. He's going to make sure that we show it. So keep on saying it in the comments field till Rick acknowledges it. So right there. So I'm going to stop my screen right now. I'm going to set up my art cam. And once I get that set up, we'll start the clock. But go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and pull up John's art cam right here. And let's move that over here. Let me get in here.
So, John, it's obvious that Hanzo is not Han Solo inspired by the name, right? I mean, I was thinking, like Allison wrote here earlier, that it might be more Hitori Hanzo.
Right.
Or where did you get your idea from?
That came from a suggestion of one of my friends who's a fellow toy designer. And I'm like, I have this serious character. He's a good guy, but he's always very serious. And I need a good warrior name. And he goes, Hanzo, it's got to be Hanzo. And I'm like, and in my head, I subliminally probably like, yeah, that'll probably work. It does sound a little like Han Solo, which is my favorite Star Wars stuff. So, okay, I'm drawing.
Okay,
yeah,
so
you're starting already, and so Joe needs to keep up.
No. Go ahead. Our guests can get the head start, even though I'm the slowpoke. But I just want to make sure that go ahead and start drawing. Let's say, John, we usually do 15 to 20 minutes. Rick will be the timekeeper, as well as the comments keeper, as well as just the overall best around. So he's going to be tracking everything, and we're going to hopefully have lots of people drawing along with us. So if you look off to the right hand screen, there's John's drawing cam, and look, he's already gotten something down already. I need to get going.
He's already done, Joe. Time's up.
Yeah, he's done already. So anyway, it's 2:20 Eastern Standard Time. So let's look at
15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes. We'll go 15 minutes and we'll see where everybody's at. All right. Okay. So John, I know we're going to put a little pressure on you to sort of like a little bit of a draw and talk, or talk and draw, because I think draw and talk has been kind of like been copyrighted by one of our friends, Tyler Carpenter. He's another streamer. So talk and draw. Tell us a little bit about Hanzo while we do this 15-minute speed draw. So the mic is now yours. Yeah.
Well, Hanzo is a village protector, and he's used to working solo. And so in the story, it's the village councils, when there's a lot of attacks going on, mysterious attacks and destruction, they put together a team to find out what's going on and trying to stop all the destruction. They don't know. Everyone, the DWEORES are going missing. The villages are destroyed. There's components, mechanical components missing from the attacks. They have no idea. And so they put together a super team. And so one member's Gamma, and he's an engineer. He's like a water wheel engineer. He's usually designing water wheels and equipment and stuff like that. Another one is Queso, and he's the kid. He's from a bike shop, but he has that power where he can spin his mind and create stuff just out of wreckage that is
John,
throughout this world.
sorry, but your camera Leah has been removed. Your camera's art cam is off.
What?
And yeah, well, yours is kind of off center as well.
Okay. Can you?
Oh yeah.
I know I'm casting some shadow. Yeah, there you go.
No, you were just a little more further down, so we couldn't see the whole thing before.
Okay.
Now
Yeah, thank you for letting me know that. John, go ahead and we're gonna pause the timer a little bit, even though you're way ahead, and we'll just it's more for my benefit. Go ahead and get your art cam back up, and we'll yep. It's not. I don't see it. Do you see it, Rick?
Nope, it's not up yet.
Yeah.
Do you have to re-log in, maybe?
Enter.
There we go. You just joined us again, so it should be working again. So, Jell, the first time you saw all this, when you saw Heinzel the first time, did you even consider that it was made? He was created from a water tower. I mean, that's just amazing.
Yeah, I got that. I saw that. But to me, when I was doing the pre-show with John, when I heard the reason why he looks like, why the DWEORES look like that, it even made it more relevant to me, because he was telling me about that was like his commute when he was going into work. He'd look out the train window and he would see these water towers. So this was him, like when he was trying to figure out what he was going to do for the basis of his characters, what he could be basing it on, and it was phenomenal. Oh, John, you're upside down. so you
Cam upside down.
Yeah, so you can.
Difficulties.
No problem. We just want.
It's fine. We'll just show a little more of Gerald.
No, you don't want to show me
and his quirky lines.
Yes, my quirky line, my wonky lines. It's definitely.
And for those that needs a reminder, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go back to John. Did John fix it? No, not. Now it's only halfway there.
Am I upside down?
Oh yeah, you got to go horizontal. Yeah, you got to go landscape mode if you can, so we can kind of.
There
you go.
Joe, what do you mean pure chaos? It's still better than when you handle it. Okay, now I'm getting fired now. Sorry, bye guys. Good knowing you.
Nice knowing you, Rick.
Am I back on?
Technical difficulties happens for the best of them. Look at how it just happened for John after all.
All right, looks
there
like
we go. As you can see, John, if you could look at the screen for a second, I've centered if you can center your page just a little bit more. Now the other way. There we go. Fantastic.
Yeah, perfect.
Good.
Shazam.
All right, let the timer start again then.
Yeah, we'll start the. And you know what? John is still going to be way ahead of me anyway, so he'll be okay. So.
I'm John.
So you talked about how you used did all the characters get named by friends of yours, or did you name some of them yourself? You talked about how most of them have been named by other people.
Well, it was just that guy, my friend. He threw that in my brain and it stuck. And I wasn't able to get rid of it. It seemed perfect, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go with it.
Cool.
But the other names, you have to search, and when you hear something that just sounds right for the like queso. You know, it just he's a squirrely teenager, and you know, it cheese in Spanish seemed like it'd be perfect.
That's what I got.
Right? I'm like,
I'm sitting here wanting cheese for dinner now.
Mhm.
and so yeah, so the Hanzo and his team are out trying to find what is destroying their world. And
So like this team you're talking about, they're like the crack commando team of the DWEORES, right? They're like a special forces unit. Is that kind of like what they are?
Hanzo is, but the other ones are. He's used to working by himself, and he
Uh.
doesn't really appreciate working with these amateurs. So a water wheel designer and a
Who is?
bike shop, and so it's very frustrating for him. But it's all for the greater good. So they're figuring it out, and their different talents will come into play to really benefit the team in different situations. But they don't see it now. They're, you know, Queso just like, I don't want to be here. I want to be back in my bike shop. You know, just tinkering around with his experiments and stuff. So.
I'm really looking forward to getting these comics and reading the story. It feels great. It just feels like a really happy, family friendly story for everybody to enjoy. Alongside with the great art as well.
Yeah, I love Carl Barks is one of my big influences. He
Oh,
did,
yeah.
DuckTales and Uncle Scrooge and all those. And so that's kind of where some of the simple shapes came from. But then I shaded them a little more realistically. And so it kind of created its own style. And, you know, some of the big influences for this were I combined my favorite things. Ninja Turtles, Alice in Wonderland and Snow White, Star Wars, things like that. And I put in and try to make unrecognizable elements in my story. And so those are the big inspirations to creating this world.
You know, you mentioned John. You know, because I think the Teenage Mutant Turtles are definitely an influence on a lot of creators. And you know, I just picked up on what you were saying. That was actually another reason why you decided that you wanted to do your interior pages to be black and white, at least initially, was that when you first were introduced to the Teenage Mutant Turtles, they were the classic Eastman and Laird.
2 minutes to go.
2 minutes? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, were the classic Eastman and Laird black and white comics that were done.
Exactly.
Did you had a funny story about that? Was it about your roommate introducing you? So,
yeah,
want to talk about
college? When I went to Comic-Con, my roommate seemed to know everything going on and about every comic. And when we go to Comic-Con, I was kind of like Jack Skellington. You're like, what is this? What is this? And I had no idea what's going on, but I just saw all these wonders around. And so we went for 10 years doing that. And finally, I just decided, well, you know, why don't I have a table? You know, where's my Star Wars? I got to take a shot. And so that's when I got serious and started creating these worlds. And the DWEORES is the first one that I really went with. And so this is my shot, and this is my love letter to all those amazing brands that, you know, that are so meaningful to people. And like the Ninja Turtles have been such a positive influence for kids, you know. Same with the Avatar, Last Airbender is also a big one. And my kids love that. You know, there's in kindergarten when that was on, and you know, and I boil that show down to how to be a friend and how to treat your friends. And so that's kind of, for me, that was the overall lesson for that one. And so I applied a lot of the Airbender philosophy artists. They're working together, becoming friends to save their world. The world's in great peril.
I really hate to interrupt you, John, but time is up.
Time is up. Ah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I just need to darken my lines really quickly.
No.
Can you
no.
give us like 2 minutes? 2 minutes.
Hey, John is done. John is done.
John is
Joe.
done. Oh, shoot.
Joe,
All right. Okay. I'll put mine down. Ah.
Bad, Joe. Bad.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. Let's.
And before we go over this, I'll just have to show this one from Joe himself, that if we reach 200 followers on YouTube by the end of this video, Joe will commission John for a piece that will be paid and shipped to a viewer and follower from our YouTube channel. So if you want a chance for commission John Ottinger piece, go and follow us on YouTube right now.
There you go. There's some incentive. Hey, let's can we, before we show the
Pencils
artwork?
down, guys. Oh my God.
Mine is down.
Up, so why should I?
Yes. No. You're right.
I'm not stopping.
Don't just jump on his pad.
Okay, let's show our audience's artwork first. So, right, John?
So far, there's been one, from what I can tell.
Okay, all right. Well, hopefully, those everybody that was drawing along with us, you can continue to work on it, but what you could do is just when you're ready to show it, just let us know, and we'll show it at the end.
Never mind. They're coming in.
Oh, they're coming in now. Okay. All right.
My suggestion. Let's show yours first, Joe, just for the fun of it. Let's start with you.
Let's show. Okay, you already soloed me out. All right. So here I just started, but this is my version of Hanzo and his action pose, and he's like going in to make sure that somebody's threatened his friends, and he's going to make sure that they don't do that. I still have to add a bit more to it, and just like what I'm going to tell John and our audience, viewers who are drawing along, they can polish it up, because I plan on polishing up mine a little later on, and because I want to do justice to Hanzo and making sure that I can complete the vision that I have for him. But anyway, that's my version of it. Let's see John's. I want to see John's.
Yep. John's is here.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I got to put my scar across the eye still. But
and you also need to remember the little tattoo on his chin.
Yes, that's true. That's true. But yes, look what John did in the same amount of time. He totally just
before you even got your camera ready, he was almost done, man. He's so fast.
He was already there. So I still need to do that. I need to put that little tattoo or that little insignia that's there on his, right beside his
God. The art the art is coming in. I can't handle this. Oh my God.
See, John, look what you've done. You've unleashed a wave of inspiration. We got like lots of people in our audience.
This is amazing, guys. Let's
start sharing.
I think I have them all now. Hopefully, if I miss someone, please let me know.
Okay, so let's check it out.
From an end. This one here is from Allison.
Allison, and look, she already has that swipe already at the top with the. It looks like Hanzo's drawn motor oil. He's yeah.
She had to restart. She had to restart 4 times, so that's actually a really great job considering she restarted 4 times.
Very cool, Allison.
Love it.
Two thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. Let's see what else.
The next one.
Oh, who did this one?
I believe that was Brian Renards. No, wait. I'm missing up the names here. Whoops. No. That's for the Rick challenge.
Oh no! Why? Oh, he let the cat out of the bag. He just really was thinking about breakfast earlier. That's what he was thinking. Okay, so who was this done by?
Hang on, I need to find the Facebook again.
Yeah, if you
currently I got like 7, 8.
You know what? I'm gonna Rick. I'm not to like criticize your method here, but Joe had the formula down. Joe actually just pulled up the art show. Oh, that's Sarah's. Okay, but to make it easier for you, maybe you might want to call up the art show page and then just show people's postings. That might make it easier for you, because you know.
I just wanted to show it there. Show people's art like this.
Okay, that's fine. Do it your way.
And this is Brian Menards.
Brian, awesome
Brian
work.
from Doki Comics.
Yes, he was a guest. Yeah, very cool. And we saw Sarah's earlier. Sarah, and is this Roy's? I have to say this is probably Roy's.
This is Roy Mercado's.
Look at that.
So
he's doing some Fruit Ninja stuff here, cutting up.
And we're not even done with the last but not least, Brian Acosta's.
Brian Acosta. Brian's been on our show just like Sarah and Roy. Great supporter of the show and always contributing to these live challenges. So awesome. You guys rock, and we appreciate you drawing along. Very, very cool,
guys. I really loved it.
Yeah. And John, it looks like we lost your art cam again. Can you?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, while we prepare for the next art challenge, we'll let
Roy, don't encourage him. Okay.
Yes, Roy. Encourage me. So, all right, we got it back there. So Joe's saying, amazing guys. We think our audience is the bestest. They rock. They participate.
Guys, only 17 subs to go. If you want a chance of a John Ottinger commission sent to you, no matter where you live in the country, we need to. There need 200 subs by the end of the show. So go ask your mom, go ask your parent, go ask your friends, go ask your dog to come and sub to our YouTube channel.
Yes, that is so true. Okay, all right. So we're gonna let John has his camera almost up, and it looks like it's
Am I upside down?
No, you're upside down. Yeah, you're upside down. So flip that around if you can. There you go. Make sure it goes. Yeah, there you go.
You did a really nice job on all of you guys. I think this is the first time we've seen this many pieces of art at the same time.
Yeah, it's because John is inspiring everybody to draw along. His characters are that great, making people want to draw along.
I like it. They're so simple in design, but you can make them look as detailed as you want to, but still have them look exactly what they look like. It's great, the concepting.
Yeah. All right. So we have completed our first drawing challenge. We're going to go to the middle drawing challenge, which is drawing number 2.
Roy Mercado is really going hard. He just subscribed with both accounts.
Okay. Don't let Facebook know, because they're gonna go, oh my gosh, people are creating multiple
and
accounts.
Joe's telling me to not unsub this time. I'll try.
I know there's something on Rick's side that keeps on making him unsubscribe. Yeah. But anyway, all right. So we're going into our second drawing challenge. And now that my co-host Rick, who's the best all around, is back, we're gonna call it. We're bringing back the Rick challenge. So I told John that the Rick challenge is a little open-ended. It's basically whatever Rick and his devious little mind comes up with. So here we go. And I want our audience to suffer with us, because whatever Rick comes up with, we want
John,
you guys to do that as well.
John, I need to know really quickly. Do you know who Freakazoid is?
See, I knew this was coming.
See, John answered, of course.
Yeah, the big black hair and the mask.
Yeah.
And the jumpsuit.
You want to know who doesn't know who Freakazoid? Do you want to know who doesn't know who Freakazoid is? Jowl.
Oh,
I do
Am
now.
I right?
I do
Am
now.
I right?
Thanks to this guy over here. He made sure that I knew who Freakazoid is. Anyway, so that's another episode. I encourage anybody to go back and look, and it'll be a fun game. You can watch all the previous Let It Outs and find the episode where Gerald embarrasses himself and does not know who Freakazoid is. So,
Well, he does say he embarrasses himself on every episode, but this one is good.
this was just even more embarrassment. It was next level embarrassment. So here,
Well,
okay, let's keep on going though. All right, Rick, let us know what this challenge is so that our audience can see and draw along with us. So
well, I
here you go.
had a plan before I talked to John and this whole thing here, and now he's drinking from the skull of Chewbacca. But I like that whole idea that he only saw one water tower, like for a second, that he made a whole hero out of it.
Mhm.
And Allison earlier put in a name of. So I'm gonna challenge people to make a hero out of a certain picture I got here. I'm gonna show in a second.
I think you let the cat out of the bag a little earlier.
And the hero name, thanks to Allison, the clone is going to be Colbert, like the talk show host.
Like who?
Steve Colbert, is that?
Colbert. Okay, gotcha.
So his
All
name
right.
is gonna be, and this is going to be the picture you're gonna go from.
All right. So the challenge.
I will be nice and give you 20 minutes this time, Gerald.
20
And I
minutes,
say
okay.
Gerald because I know John is gonna be
Yes,
finished within 5 minutes, but
my gosh, what am I going to do with this? All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
well,
So the challenge is to take this waffle iron, turn it into make it a member or let's say like another species.
if you want to, I'm not gonna be so close, so hard on people that it has to be DWEORES.
DWEORES. Oh.
Oh,
You mispronounced it. I got you. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe this is another race.
You can make it into you can make it look like a superhero. You can make it look like whatever you want. Just make it up like alive and a person, somewhat like that. Okay.
All
20
right.
minutes
Okay.
and go.
All right. Here we go. So, Rick, tell us about what were you eating breakfast when you came up with this idea?
No, I came up with this idea just now. This was-
now.
When we've had this interview, I've been like, okay, because my other challenge was basically just another one where I would mix two heroes together, like your Darkwing Duck Wonder Woman thing.
Yeah.
So, but then John started talking about how he saw a water tower and how that inspired him to make Hanzo, and that was like, yeah, well, that has to be the challenge then, right?
Mm-hmm. That's
That would be
true.
the perfect challenge for this.
Yeah. So now we know how
Right?
Rick's mind.
You should use both the waffles and the waffle maker. The whole picture.
Okay. All right. Try to make this work. We'll see what happens with it.
It's a bit different, but I know, but I do like the challenges where people have to be a little creative as well and put the. And one must say this is creative, right?
Yes.
yeah.
So, John, do you like waffles?
Oh. Yes, especially for dinner. They're the best at dinner.
Yeah. Breakfast for dinner is always good.
Oh, it's
Mhm.
amazing, especially when it's cold outside.
What do you mean? You're in California. What is cold for you?
Oh, hey, you don't realize when I was a kid, one time it got so cold in California, I couldn't wear. I
Shorts.
almost couldn't wear shorts. Yeah. It was
Oh, man.
John.
Into the 60s. It was it's
Oh, into the 60s. I told you that.
Into the world.
Yeah, I know, because here Rick has had like a foot of snow, and I had like 5 inches, 3 to 5 inches here, and then of course John is talking about how it got to as low as this.
Boo-hoo. You know what? In Denmark last night it was minus 13 degrees.
Minus 13. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, that's not Fahrenheit, by the way. That's what the rest of the world use, not Fahrenheit.
Hey! This is America. You got to deal with the American
No,
system.
no, no. This is the internet. America.
America.
So let's just say it was so cold that I was just happy I was inside.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say something else, but I'm glad that you just said you were just happy.
I
that
was,
you were
but then I remembered that this was a PG stream. Brian Minard says it's 3 degrees with snow and ice here in Michigan.
Yeah.
Is that American standard degrees or?
So Rick, did you have waffles for breakfast today, or was this something that it just came to you? I know, but do you have waffles for breakfast? I mean,
No, I just like waffles.
Just like waffles. Just like waffles.
Yeah. And it was the first thing I could think of that was a little different than a water tower, and needed a little creative thinking to make into something, right? And hopefully, now that we also named it, this guy might show up in a John Ottinger book. Who knows?
Yeah.
And if it does, Allison, it's on you. You started this.
Waffle irons need their day. Today's their day for waffle irons.
Yeah.
So how much time do we got, Rick? We still got plenty of time.
Oh yeah, you're not even over the first 10-minute mark.
Okay, good.
So there's plenty of time. And I do believe people in the comments here are going crazy, also drawing along. I feel like Roy is drawing along at least with because he was asking if it was just the waffle iron or the waffles as well.
So Roy paying attention to all the details because
Yeah.
he's going to deliver like a stunning piece of fan art here. I tell you, I mean,
I had my own idea that the waffles themselves were used as like ninja stars or something equally.
That would have been really cool. Yeah.
Deadly
I
waffle.
think Sarah is joining as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Allison is apparently a terrible girl for this idea, for the name idea. Brian Menard is drawing along. Good work, guys! I can't wait to see all the work here.
So while we're talking about this, this brings up an interesting question based on this drawing challenge, John. In the world of DWEORES, do all the mechanical beings, are they all, at least the ones that were introduced, they're all based on the water tower look? So in the future, I don't know if you want to talk about it, if you want to like spill, we don't want to go into spoiler territory, but are there other mechanical beings that that maybe emulate different mechanical objects or different things that are other than water towers? Have you thought that?
There's going to be many creatures. This story art is based on the one map fragment that they have, and that my story is taking a piece there, but that map is like a puzzle, and so I'm going to start adding more map fragments as the story continues, and you're going to meet many different shape and DWEORES and creatures, and so yeah, there's going to be many others. They're tribal and village-like, and all different levels of technology in different areas. Even within the DWEORES, some are quite primitive. We haven't met them yet, but yeah, the world goes deep. And
That is
So there is a chance that there will be waffle warriors present.
waffle warriors. Okay.
Yeah.
Waffle warriors are going to be a major threat to the DWEORES forest.
Yeah, led by Stephen Colbert. And we can all thank Allison for that idea. It's a great idea. John, your camera is you're kind of off camera again with your piece.
Again?
Yeah.
Just
You're
move it over.
You're
Just
all
move it
over
over.
the place, John.
You can't control John. John is just everywhere.
Yeah.
So-
Major
Oh,
technical
that looks
difficulties.
amazing.
That's
not-
Stephen Corbird waffle iron.
Bird. I'm gonna switch over so that Yell doesn't get to see it before he's done.
Oh, I'm not even looking because I know that I'm gonna want to watch whenever I watch our guest. I want to stop and watch our guest draw because
Yeah,
they
exactly.
and so I make it a point to try and not gander and not look at that stuff because I'll just be entranced.
And just trust me to do my work. Uh-oh.
Exactly.
So, John, who's your favorite? You talked about Carl Barks here. Like, is he your favorite Disney artist?
Yeah, I think so. He was able to wield magic with his stories, with his shape, but very simplistically. The shapes and stuff, but they became very complex and in a complex world, and it's so inspiring. I have just piles of those that I would buy for my kids when they're younger. They'd read them in the bathtub, and so they'd always demand more, and so it became a big influence on me. It's just beautiful art style. Did some stories just on the kids had, Huey, Dewey, and Louie had a piece of string. And they started trading it up until, and that was the start of the story from back in the 50s. And he did everything himself, too. And he just was amazing.
I completely agree. I've been a Carl Barks fan ever since I saw him the first time as a child, and I do see some inspiration of his in your art because you have that same idea that simple shapes made complex looking by the details, which he has, and I see that in yours as well. Without you directly quote unquote copying him, I do see it's the same thought process at least.
Right. I learned so much by reading his stories and looking at Carl Barks' stuff. It's just amazing, just so inspiring. But it was just fun, great adventures.
What I also liked about him is, that he wasn't afraid of go a little overboard when it came with the twisting the faces for expressions and all that. I hadn't seen that in the other Donald Duck the artists. They were pretty simple in their ways of approaching when they did the expressions, and then you go to Carl Barks and see how he just goes all out crazy with it in the good way.
Yeah, and the DuckTales series, both of them have been just really fun to watch. Big fan. All that stuff I try to put my loves and my inspiration in my work. Like you said, I try to make it unrecognizable, but just have that spirit, what they did, and try to incorporate that.
And I must say, you really nailed it. I think that was the first thing that came to my head when I saw your stuff. This reminds me of something, and again, that appeals to people. If people find it recognizable, you'll get more fans.
Right, and when my kids were younger, I'd go to the comic book shop to buy them comics and bring them, and there were so few comics that they could enter the comic book world with.
Yeah.
I mean, they primarily the only comics there were that they could get and read that wasn't too extreme for them were Sonic the Hedgehog. And so they became big fans of the Sonic the Hedgehog comic book. And so as a product designer and developer, before I started the DWEORES, I looked at the marketplace and I go, well, there's no entry point for new fans, really. Everything's so complex and so connected. Like, how do you start and how do you get in? And so that was another part of the inspiration that I wanted to do with my comic, is have something that everyone can enjoy, that it's safe for everyone, but super fun. It's not it's kiddie-like, but it's not kiddie-like. It's for all ages.
And again, like Adventure Time, I think that was probably created for just one like age group, but that started out being liked by multiple age groups now. I mean, my grandfather liked watching Adventure Time with his granddaughter, which is kind of amazing that that spread of an age group can still sit and be enjoyed by the same exact thing on the TV together. That's really both heartwarming and amazing that you can do something like that.
Right, and that's part of my goal is trying to do that. Is that success and that, and I'm always trying to put a lot of heart and friendship building and adventure and humor and fantasy into my stuff as I go.
And I love it. I can tell that you're having fun with it, with what you do, and that just makes me want to follow along even more. Because you can see that, right? You can see that in comics whether the person had fun doing it or not.
I can tell you, I'm having so much fun doing this right now. So it's so cool to do it.
Yeah, I can hear your silence, Gerald.
I'm like really concentrating.
When you're silenced, you're enjoying what you're doing.
Exactly.
And
So-
we are only 2 minutes away from pencils down.
2 minutes.
Go
okay.
ahead, Gerald.
Oh no, I'm listening to both of you guys talk about DWEORES and because at first I was thinking DWEORES is just about these water tower characters, and then as Rick introduced this challenge, I realized DWEORES is much bigger than that. When John was talking about the universe and how they're not all water tower based. We're going to be introduced to like a lot of different characters, and I kind of like should have came to that conclusion because we got to see that big giant that was hulking at over everything, and then we also got to see Yip, which is like that horse ostrich fusion, and Yip. Obviously Yip does not look like a water tower, so I think that just opens the world for just tremendous possibilities. Seeing all these potential mechanical beings, what you can do with it. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be incredible in terms of like what these future stories are going to be like.
I am looking forward to the Waffle Warriors now.
The Waffle Warriors.
Waffle Warriors.
Wrath of the Waffle Warriors.
Yes. Or is it going to be Dwee Waffles instead of DWEORES? I don't know.
Waffles.
Do you want DWAffles? I want DWAffles for breakfast. Give me DWAffles.
Mommy, I want DWAffles today.
Yeah, that's right. You're going to replace the whole let go my ego. It's going to be, DWAffles. I want my DWAffles for breakfast. Yeah.
All right, guys. And those at home drawing as well. Pencils down.
Pencils down. Oh, man.
Brian, Allison, Roy.
All right, let's show everybody. Everybody submit. Oh, I just got a hint. Oh, look at that! That is so cool.
Yeah, John just.
That's Stephen Colbert.
Stephen Colbert. Here you go, Allison.
That looks fantastic, John. I love it.
What I love even most, like 5 minutes in, he was already done with the shapes and all that. So the rest of the time have basically just been him adding some details here and there. And I love that.
That is so good. I can already see the story. It's the DWEOR there at the bottom. It's like, I don't know if is that Hanzo, or I don't know.
That looks like Puck.
Puck? It's like, is he is he paying homage to the with a waffle, or is he getting presented with a waffle? Or was he almost smashed by the waffle? I have no idea. But this is what I love about John's artwork, and actually all of our guests, is that it's like the story. There's already a story being developed here in this simple little sketch. And I mean, it's not even simple to me. It's really complex. And I love how you made the character. I was so wrapped in making my character look like he could go hang around with Hanzo or something like that. And who's to say that maybe that bird-like character could do it as well? But he almost looks like he could be a potential threat. Oh, okay. I guess my art trend got soloed. So here's my waffle iron. I'm gonna say that he's hot stuff.
I love it.
And he's wielding. I decided to make that his electrical cord. I decided to make that was part of his weapon, so he can
nice.
Yeah, so like he can like sling his electrical cord and use it as like a little weapon there, and he can also he's ready to like deal some waffles on people as well. So anyway, I had a tremendous good time doing this. He's hot stuff. Hot stuff. Hot stuff there. So anyway, let's see what our audience did. I would love to see what
yeah. I'm gonna do it as you told me last time.
Yeah, so please, if you're in our audience and you drew along with us, let us know you did, and of course post it to the art show. Rick is gonna
let me just remove these messages from these people that doesn't matter. Like, yo. Okay, let's look. Look.
I know.
Oh my God, we actually got a colored one here.
Oh, look at Roy.
Hilarious.
That is so cool. I love it.
He also added a talk show into it with the logo.
Yeah, I know. He even put the tie. He put the tie in there too. And the glasses. Roy, excellent work. Who we got here? Who's this? Allison.
He seems to have followed your idea with the cord here, which I actually like.
Oh, so Allison and I must be thinking alike there. So
also wearing the glasses.
Uh-huh.
I can actually see the Colbert in this look for some reason. It looks like Colbert.
You just need to add the Colbert ears. I think that's one of his signature things.
He got that headband on. I think he used that in one of his things. Do we have more? Yeah, well, we have. Okay, the yellow color is stuck in my mind. Attack waffle boom at 1,000 degrees steam.
Oh, that looks so cool. Good job, Sarah.
Captain Waffleicious.
Oh. All right, here we got.
This is Brian's attended Colbert of the Waffle Warriors.
Oh, Brian. Nice. Very nice, Brian.
Love it.
I love the dual lightning bolts.
Yeah, and the waffle hands.
It's like he got he could be still part of the water tower race of DWEORES, but he has waffle irons. He could be the immortal waffle iron fist. So there you go. Oh.
Did anyone else show up? Well, nope.
Yeah. And if anybody's out there in the audience, if they want to keep on drawing it, just let us know and we'll show it at the end if you want to draw any of these challenges. So
yeah.
Oh my gosh. I tell you, John, you are inspiring so many people. This is just fantastic to see so many people participating in drawing, your artwork. So yeah, and of course it's Rick's challenge that brought out this creativity, in there as well. So
I listened what you was doing a Colbert's reference. I knew I saw him in it. That was good job all around.
Yes, it was fantastic. All right, so
even you.
even me. I have some bright moments in my art every once in a while, and when
I was actually worried. I was worried about you because you were so silent. It's like, is he okay?
You're probably going. Is this going to be another moment where Gerald, embarrasses himself?
If he's having a heart attack, I don't know. Should I be worried? I kept looking at your screen. On you, like.
He's like this.
He's still flying.
He's not moving. Somebody, revive him. Okay, so that was such a great time.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great challenge. Thank you so much, Rick, for pushing us. And John, I love that. I hope that could possibly.
John, your cam is off again. But
Uh-oh.
Uh,
Are your camera is? Did you turn off the screensaver mode, the energy saver mode? Maybe that's what's causing it to disconnect. So, but we'll let you.
Thrown it out of the.
Okay, well, while you get the camera set up, John, Rick, do you want to pull up our third drawing challenge, the character May? Let's check her out. While no,
Yeah.
right here.
My phone was fully charged. Now it's almost done, so I'm gonna have to plug it in.
Okay, all right. What we can do is, well, gosh, because this is our last drawing challenge, we want to make sure that we can get people to see your artwork. See what you can do about getting your camera up there. And anyway, while John's getting his rig together, oh, he's just about ready to be added back into the stream. Go ahead and orient your camera, and I want our audience to look at May. So, Rick, can you zoom in a little bit so we can kind of zoom into like maybe the colored version there in the center? I don't know if you can just magnify that a little bit.
I don't know how.
Oh, okay. Look at the top where it says 100%. You see it says 100%?
Oh, yeah.
Just double click.
Yeah. I mean, of course, Joe, I can zoom in. Yeah, of course.
Okay. All right. So while we're talking, we're gonna talk. I want people to soak this in. I want you to look at it. There's some obvious things that I picked up on and little things that I totally missed, but are completely irrelevant to like the future storytelling about May. And we're gonna let.
I'm not gonna say anything, but there's something here.
Rick and his powers of observation. We're gonna get into that when we start drawing. I'm gonna let John do a little bit of talk and draw and talk a little bit about while he's drawing about the character May and what that little detail that Rick picked up on, because we want to be able to explain that, of course, without giving any spoilers away. But this character, you look at her and I'm just looking at her eyes. You know, eyes tell such a great story, and I just have this. She has this look about her that makes me want to learn more about her role in DWEORES, and and that little detail that Rick picked up on. So let's do our drawing challenge. Let's get back into it. Let's do 15 to 20.
Wait.
Wait.
Your cam is down again.
Oh no!
It just got up and then it's got down.
There it is. It's almost there. Let's see.
Well, we have a few minutes until it's a round number, anyways. When we start the clock, so it's fine.
Yeah. We got 3 minutes to get your art cam ready.
We have Molly Mac here saying that it reminds her a little of a Bratz doll, and I kind of agree. There's a little Bratz doll look in it.
I think these look better than Bratz dolls.
Oh yeah, sure.
Well, she's kind of.
There's something.
Yeah, she's kind of. Her outfit's kind of thrift store put together, because her father.
Your cam seems to have frozen.
We're just having all sorts of technical difficulties here. Yeah, it looks.
It's kind of blacked out here. Okay.
All right. So art cam is still waiting on right now, right?
It should be.
Okay. While we're getting his art cam set up, I just want to let's talk about like some of the things that everybody should kind of notice if you don't, just observing here. Notice the mismatched socks, striped socks. Notice the band-aids all over her legs, and that interesting detail that's on her chest, which we're going to talk a little bit about. And her headband, she has definitely a very unique look to her, and they're all going to go into like the storytelling, in terms of what John is going to share about May, without, of course, giving away all the details about who May is and what she may be. Isn't that funny? What she may be? Ha ha ha! So that was my dad joke. But anyway, anyway, do we have his art cam? Is his art cam ready to go?
It continues to go out. So Here's my proposition. We'll just look at you, Gerald, and then John will have to show his work up on his other cam when he's done.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Okay.
well, yeah.
I mean,
it sounds like
it seems like there's a problem with the cell phone going out all the time, John. Sadly,
yeah.
Okay.
every time you put it up there, it just goes down again.
Okay. All right. What we could
Okay.
do is yeah.
Okay, now it seems like it's working, even though you turned it around.
Okay, we're just gonna leave it upside down.
Yeah,
We'll just
let's
because
just
I want to.
work with that, and then when it's done, you'll just show him.
Right. Okay. So everybody, soak up this maze look. Check it out, and we're gonna start.
I'll return later on and show it again during
Yes.
these
Yes.
last 15 minutes, guys, from
Okay,
now.
15 minutes. All right. Let's start drawing.
15.
Um,
Okay. Well,
all
right.
May,
her look is kind of a thrift store put together style that she didn't have much. Her father left to find something of value to help pay for her operations that she had to have, because that little line on her chest, she had some serious heart problems, and so her father actually brought a mechanical heart, and it was installed in her. And so he left with her younger brother to a place where he knew he could find a treasure. And so he was gone for years, and then she got better, and then she finally had enough and wanted to go find her dad and brother, who should have been back right away. And so that's her catalyst for entering the world of the DWEORES. She'd found this coin that's in this bottle, and it would point in the direction that she should go. And so she got a little money together, and she got the worst, tiniest little ship she could find and set off into the ocean to find her brother and father. And so that was kind of her look. So that's why she has that line on her chest. Because I'd seen this girl interviewed, or this woman, on the news, and she had had several heart surgeries, and she had that line on her chest. And she said, I'm going to be brave about this, and I'm going to be proud of this, because it means I'm a survivor. And so that was kind of the inspiration for me, because everyone's imperfect in this world, and that's part of her story. She has a big heart and a mechanical heart, and so that's kind of the background of May. And for some reason, when she does get to the world where the DWEORES are, they all think she's a princess, and like some prophecies being fulfilled. And
like
so
C-3PO and the Ewoks.
Right. So maybe it's her heart. Maybe it's the sound of her heart. It's just stuff that is subtly mentioned throughout the story. But they see her as fulfilling a prophecy to help save the world. And she's just there to find her brother and father, but she starts befriending all the DWEORES.
And then it turns out her father was actually eaten by the Waffle Warriors.
No,
Yeah.
but let's just say that he was actually the waffle leader. Like when he came there, and he'd been hiding out with them, and so that was the whole thing. Not eaten by the waffle warriors.
I am your father.
Yeah.
Her
Have
father
a waffle.
became the waffle warrior. So
And your father have a waffle.
So May always has band-aids on her legs from this adventure. Her lips are always a little chapped, and there's always a wind blowing, and her scar. And those are kind of the entry points into that character. I thought by putting the band-aids on her legs, it gives a backstory that she is rambling through this new world, through these unusual forests. Her lips are chapped, and it just kind of gives her a little realism. in this very stylized world, and that's some of the stuff I was having fun with.
He just seems like a really one of those active children that gets hurt a lot because they're crawling trees and everything. So
Right, she's rambling and exploring, and it's all new to her. She's not used to that environment, but she adapts very well.
it gives like a nice feel just by looking at her. It tells story. It's really smart as well. Well, it helps build up the character before she's even really shown in the comics. You already kind of know her. You at least know a person from your childhood that was equal her in one way or the other. I mean, I remember I had a friend that had open heart surgery, and she had that scar, and he was very young back then. So it's really good. I really like the whole idea. I will, even though it's forgotten, the 15 minutes are actually gone. Let's give it another 5 because
15
of
minutes passed away already. Gosh,
yeah,
that's
No
because
way,
of,
that's 15 minutes.
Time must go
I
faster.
I can't remember if I started at 10 or I started at 0.
Okay.
So
Well, we had a little bit of. We need to add more time just because we had the camera connection issue. So let's put a little bit of time on there.
Yeah, it knocked me out, and plus I'm a male, so I can't dual anything. I can only do one thing at a time, barely. So this whole talking and drawing is like, whoa.
It's a challenge. It's a challenge.
It's a challenge. It sure is.
yeah, not for Djawel though. He draws equally bad whether he's talking or not.
Hey man, don't knock that skill. That's something that has taken me years to perfect. So
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I can't. I'll honestly say I can't do it. That's why I also stopped streaming, and also why I'm happy that I'm the one that gets to be in control of everything with the comments and all that. Because then I don't have to draw and talk, because I can't draw and talk. Whenever I was streaming, every time I was talking or reading up from messages, I just stopped everything and forgot where I was. And my art when I was streaming didn't go anywhere. So it is definitely a skill.
So Rick is admitting that he is not the best at everything, like he's leading us to believe.
No. I'm just saying. Hey, I never said I'm the best at everything. I'm just saying I'm the best.
Oh, you're at the okay. See how that goes.
Around.
A little bit correction there in terms of that.
No, I just had to like rectify your understanding was wrong. That your understanding was wrong.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Okay.
And John's cam died again. Just continue. John will just show else.
Well, we can just put his art in front of his face cam if that's
I'll just pop this show again of May, her concept for the people back home, for the people behind the camera, for the people in the comments.
So, John, May's character. You mentioned, you have a family too. It's like, is May? Do you have a daughter? Is she based on like anybody in particular? Like your inspiration for it? Is she based on like somebody that you met, or
She's a combination of people throughout my adventure.
Of your train travels.
Also, the name is based off a Miyazaki character.
Oh.
And, my friend Totoro, the little girl May, who just ran around and had all this energy.
Mm-hmm.
I just fell in love with her. She was so cool.
Oh yeah.
So that's where the name was inspired by that little girl. And so this is kind of
my friend Totoro.
And so yeah, but she's also
one of my absolute
hugely part Snow White and Alice.
I can see there's a good mix of everything in here. I mean, I didn't even think that my friend Totoro, but now that you mention it, there's you just get influenced by everything, don't you, John?
He's a product of his environment.
Yeah, I did like George Lucas did to make Star Wars. Put everything I love in it, but twist it where it's unrecognizable and try to make it mine. And so those are some of the things that I absolutely love. My friend Totoro, oh my gosh, it's just a masterpiece.
I love, to this day, I still happily admit that it's one of my favorite animated movies.
Oh yeah, just so wonderful. So many subtleties, character design, everything about it is just great.
But see, this is why I'll never make my own comic if I have to use the things that I like, then it won't be PG at all.
Well, okay. I'll just okay.
What John was talking about, just another word to like our, aspiring creators, like John was talking about, is that he used the word like he kind of like things that he's inspired by and he kind of twists it. I think that's kind of a good way of talking about it, because I think sometimes creators get so wrapped up in like, am I just copying somebody else's stuff? And it's not necessarily copying, because I think there are stories and characters that resonate with people, and it's they're archetypes, they're character archetypes. And I think that when he says twisting, it's really like he's taking an archetype, he's taking something and making it his own, because he's studied, he's definitely seen what works and what is endearing and what makes characters successful, and he's basically taking that, and by taking an archetype, twisting it, making it his own. So therefore he's replicating something that definitely is something that people can relate to and identify with, but making it unique to him, and yet still drawing inspiration from great storytellers and visual artists that he loves. So I think that's an important lesson for other creators in there. Don't get so wrapped up in, am I copying? Am I doing this? It's like, don't get so wrapped up if you're copying. Just think about what John has done. He's basically studied everything. He's seen what works, what he loves, and he's incorporated into his own work. And that's why we have DWEORES. It's made us all realize it.
He's basically showing that you can take everything you like, no matter from where, and if you're creative enough, combine it together for it to work together as well, which is an incredible skill if you do it right.
And you see what the skill is. you got to see the skill in John's work. He does it right.
Exactly. Also, as Raphael says here, as much as he's inspired, he's worked an amazing universe and a great story that comes across as a unique work. And that's the basic idea of creating comics. If you're afraid of, hey, will people think I've copied something, then maybe you should consider whether or not you twisted the idea properly enough.
Mm-hmm.
Just change it a little more. I mean, like these, the DWEORES are like my Ninja Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
Hanzo and that whole group are my Ninja Turtles. But they're unrecognizable. They don't have their personalities. They don't have their look. But that was the starting point on their great work.
2 minutes to go, guys.
2 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, and if we have to be nitpicky about this whole thing about copying, tell me an artist they created their own universe that's around now that isn't inspired or have copied from someone else, but twisted it just enough to come out as being unique, right? If we go back, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was copied from somewhere, but twisted enough so it didn't look like it. Star Wars as well, as we talked about earlier, as John talked about earlier, was taken from and copied from real life inspirations and movies, but twisted enough to make it their own unique universe, and that's what it's all about. So for those at home that's as Diablo said, that's afraid of doing the whole copy thing, well, copy it, but make sure you twist it enough to make it your own. It's my suggestion to that point, because I don't think there's anything you can find something that's 100% unique these days.
Yeah, even Star Wars, to me, when I look at it, after I've studied Jack Kirby so much, it's very much like a Jack Kirby story on the big screen. It's cosmic. There's all these quick cuts. Almost every panel on a lot of Jack stuff looks like a splash page. And it's just like amazing. It just starts building these energies. And he knew so many. He created his own language, but there's so many tricks and so many layers in every panel. And then when you get to the splash page, it's like you tore open the fourth dimension and someone stuck your head in, and just, well, I mean, you just can't explain it, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what Star Wars kind of was to me, was Jack Kirby.
Pencils down.
Pencils down.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you got me speechless again. I wasn't talking that much because got really into drawing. So,
but I just think I could listen to John forever talk. Like, he's one of those experienced great minds that I could just listen to forever, that has a lot of experience, and I just want to grab all that experience and just take it for my own. What I'm saying, John, is you're a pretty smart guy.
Yeah. And really, what he's saying is that he loves the sound of your voice, and you could recite, the Declaration of Independence, and he would still be mesmerized by the tone. Anyway,
what?
Let's see what John. Since your camera's out, you're gonna have to take your artwork and put it in the camera. Let's solo him out, Rick, so we can see.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that!
And he even introduced Yip Yip.
He did. He did. Oh,
I'm sorry. I know it's just Yip, but I just like it better with that extra Yip.
That is the reference to the last Airbender. Yip. Yeah, the Yip Yip. Yeah. Awesome, John. I can't say. Yeah, just looks so good. All right, so here's my version of her, and I kind of wanted to make it look like she has a little bit of an attitude, but definitely had a good time drawing May as well. I thought it was a really, really cool character to explore.
I also like that you made her look a little older, like just her pre-teens, more than.
I think that that's. I've seen we looked through some of the artwork that you provided, and we've seen different views of May. There's some ones where she looks like. The one that we just saw right now, she definitely looks younger, the one that John did. But I look at some of the other characters, especially that really beautiful cover. I think I forgot what issue number it was, the one with the big giant mechanical beast, and she's on Yip as well, and she looks a little bit older. But I think that's part of it, is that when you read these books, I guess you're going to see a maturing May. She's going to go through her character arc, her story, and you're going to see her mature in the world of the DWEORES. So I think it's kind of neat to see everybody's interpretation of a
little Easter egg for May is her shirt. The star on it is it's like a mood shirt. It's like a mood ring. And so it reads her expression. So as she's moving through the story, you know how she's feeling by that star on her shirt. And that's kind of a fun thing that she found at a thrift shop that's out of style, but she really liked it. And so
yeah, that's something to look forward to. It'll be one of those little Easter eggs that when you buy the book, because I am pretty sure that everybody's going to buy the book. When they buy the book, pay attention to that star emoji that's on her shirt, because that may be a hint in terms of what she's feeling. She could be putting on a kind of a smile for everybody, but really maybe she's maybe she's sad. So it's one of those things, is that you can look forward to seeing that. So Rick has pulled up our art show page, so I want people to follow here. Oh, so who did this one? Is this
This
Allison?
is Allison. I wanted to capture the sadness in her eyes, which he did very well.
She
I like
did.
the precision. I really like how how Allison in all her posts have been testing her poses instead of just there's action and movement in them. I like
Yeah.
that a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree 100%. Oh, look at Roy.
Look, Roy, oh, that's the. Speaking of my friend Totoro, this has a little feel of the Asian feel to it. I really love it.
Yeah, it almost looks like she has whiskers, and she has a very cute, like it has a cute, like if you want to put a little bit of the animal avatar type things into it, she looks really cool. All right, so who do we have here? We have Sarah. Oh, she did Yip as well. So very cool.
Love it.
Yeah, I agree with Allison. It's a little bummer with the T-shirt that people didn't know beforehand, but it could have been fun to see.
That means that you can just do more fan art, and you can send
more fan art. I mean,
I
don't think John would mind, guys. So go ahead.
Yes.
I love it so much.
And this is
Brian
from Dojo-kun Comics. We had him on a few weeks ago, 2 weeks.
Yes, yeah, and Brian is like Brian is going to be like you, John. He's going to develop into being quite a quadruple threat in himself. He's going to be he's already an accomplished writer, but now he's experimenting with art. So I expect to see him like grow in leaps and bounds. And I encourage everybody to draw. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, but you got to try it. You got to keep on doing it. And he's done it. He's jumped headfirst into like pursuing an art. Doing an art is learning his craft, learning how to draw and things like that. So I appreciate that. All of you that are in our audience, I'm sure John appreciates it. I know Rick does as well because he's the best all that there is around. We all appreciate our audience. So wonderful. And if there is anybody else who wants to, we're gonna keep the comment section live. So if you decide that you want to let us know that you continue to draw and we didn't show it just yet,
we also just 15 members, 15 subs away. We can still get there by the end of the show.
You can get we're going to commission John. If we can get those 15 more, we can get a commission by John, and you can own some original art from John. So that would be really cool.
I love it. I've
so Sarah said,
never done a commission for DWEORES.
What?
That is
never done a commission.
I never put them out there. This will be my first one.
You know what? Okay, all right. So let's
number one.
Yeah, you can be the first. So I want this.
Imagine in like 10 years how much that'll sell on eBay.
What are you talking about? 10 years?
01.
Yeah, this is the first ever commission done. So sell it on eBay and you'll be a millionaire.
No, don't sell it. That's going to be that's a family heirloom. I'm going to say that it's not even going to be 10 years. It's going to be this year. John is going to blow up, and we're going to see so much stuff coming. Just from the mind that is John. And this is where we're going to talk a little bit more. I wanted to follow up on some of the other work because we showed a lot of the DWEORE artwork, but I wanted to show John's versatility in terms of other things that he's done. So before we move to that, I just want to let anybody know that if you were still drawing, let us know in the comments field that you are, and to give Rick a heads up so we can still show that later on in the show. But right now, let's talk a little bit more about the multi-talent that John Ottinger is. So
look at this, my sister just joined. Hello.
Rick wanted to put that in there. Oh, did you hear what he said? I know, sister. I know I'm awesome.
Well, she's lived with me for my whole life, so she knows I know.
Okay. I think she just deals with of Rick's unique.
She's awesome as well. So
yeah, she just knows that Rick is that kind of person. So that's what it is. So here, I want to divert the attention from Rick because it's all about John here. So let's talk about this. So check out this. This is in the comments section as well. This is the Behance page that John has, and look at this. I mean, you will get a flavor for everything that he's done. We have heavy metal machine sculptures. We got how to make scrap I guess Scrat is that character. I think that was from Ice Age. Is that correct?
I
John?
think, yeah.
Yeah. So there's the DWEORES art book. That we saw the comic book images, but there's the Comic-Con exclusive here. The Facebook stickers that he mentioned. This is what blew my mind when I first saw this page. Is look at this is his display. It's like if you go to a con and you see people like they have their table, and their table has their whatever their swag, and usually it's like some racks of their books, and maybe they do something unique or here or there with little things. But John, he put together a whole like diorama. Look at this, and we got 3D sculptures galore here. And he also this is another thing. He's in a children's book. So let's just go delve in here. Let's look at some of these.
Wait, what's that? Does it say Gary, the world's worst elf ever?
Yeah.
That title alone should make you go check this out. But I want to show these. Let's go to this because when you look at this, I think this is the page. Bear with me here. Look, John doesn't have to even draw on paper. He's drawing on leaves of paper, leaves from a tree or a plant.
And I give those away at the shows to people.
Oh, it's just. I hope they were they put them in between a book and press them so that they don't just wilt away, because they want to make sure you keep that. So here's an example. This is the scale. Look how tiny that thing is, but he's able to put so much detail and life into that little leaf. I think that's the first time I've ever seen any artist at a show do giveaway art on leaves, plant leaves. That's
because when he gives them, he can sell. Now you may leave. I
thought my jokes were better. I thought my jokes were better. So here we have. Remember we were talking about the. This is the trading card. I think Rick was mentioning the whole Magic had like a Magic the Gathering look. This Sarah says here that is ninja art level. Yes, that is so true. You are art ninja galore, John.
How small were those leaves? Were they like Post-it notes sizes?
Look how tiny that is. Yeah, look how tiny.
I just drew those.
You can't say that. Yeah, what if she's really tiny or really huge?
What?
That is true. I guess you can see here in the background. There's a little bit of a mat with a ruler, and you can see a printer here. You can get an idea of the scale of this. So no, she's not. Yeah, she's not a. Yeah, she's not like totally really super giganta, or anything like that. But here we go. We have this. We were talking about trading cards. I mean, look at this. I mean, I could see this. I could see kids. This is something that this was a fun story. John, I'm gonna prompt you here so you can tell a little story about it. I look at this and we talk about these card games and how this card game would be really cool to play the DWEORES game. And John shared with me this really delightful story about how this person had kept on coming by his table at a con and was going to buy some things. And I think he was a repeat buyer, I guess. And he had an interesting story about why he was buying John's books again. And this just totally made me feel like, you made it as an artist when you have this experience happen. So John, tell us a little bit story about that.
Yeah, I had this really nice guy. He would come by every year and he'd buy a book and look at it and like, is this good for kids? And he would never say much and he'd buy it. And next year, you got another one? Okay. And then finally, about the third or fourth year, I had a chance to talk to him. And I'm like, because I noticed he was buying like 3 or 4 sets of the books. And I'm like, so what are you doing with all these books? And he said, oh, I'm a teacher from Arizona. And at my school, my class has your DWEORES books, and that's what they all read on their breaks. But the other teachers got so jealous because their kids were complaining they didn't have them. The teachers were stealing his DWEORES books for their classrooms. And so he bought a bunch of sets, and I gave him some extra too. And he said, yeah, they'll love it. Well, the kids all play DWEORES and stuff at recess. And I'm like, what? He goes, he's looked at me, oh, like, you don't know? And he goes, yeah, our whole school, that's what the kids play at recess. Is DWEORES.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And, oh my gosh. I almost lost it. I did use it later, but
man, when this pandemic is over, you should invite yourself over to that school and see the kids go crazy.
know it's gonna be.
I was gonna bring my whole booth and do a whole presentation and do art lessons and everything, and then the pandemic hit.
Yeah, that could have been. I could just imagine the kids would have loved that.
Yeah,
I know. I will be there as soon as this is over.
Yeah, John is going to be as big as, like, I don't even know what is a current pop icon for little kids.
Billie Eilish.
Yeah, you'll be bigger than Billie Eilish or Justin Bieber. I don't know. You know, they're going to be like
Justin Bieber was the last decade. Yo, oh my god! Wow. Wow.
Well, I was just thinking that Justin
guy.
Bieber has like Beliebers. I'm just thinking about it's DWEORES. I don't know. We got to think of like something like
Ottinger has otters.
He has what?
He has otters.
Otters. John Ottinger has otters, and then we can have all otters. You're gonna have an army of otters that are gonna be like waiting for you at the elementary school. You know, that's when I heard that story, it's like it made I was like, oh my god. Can you imagine going to a school and not even people knowing who you are, just walking around and you see like little kids who are playing DWEORES, like your creation. You know, when you think about when you were growing up, we had little Star Wars figures and we're playing with them in sandboxes and you know, in the bathtub, in the swimming pool and stuff like that. And you're having little kids who are doing that with your original characters. Isn't that amazing? It's just really cool.
I'm laughing at Allison here. She apparently isn't aware that I have an accent, so she heard me say otters like on a cow. No, that's not what I meant. That's just funnier. That's just funnier.
And you know what, Allison? Rick probably subconsciously meant udders. It should have been udders. Anyway, so let's continue going down here because I want to continue to show some of the really cool work. Look at this. This is a 3D metal sculpture of a DWEORES.
Resin. Yeah,
it's resin.
You can buy those on eBay.
It looks like metal to me. It looks like you fabricated it out of metal. It's vinyl. So incredible artwork here. You know, look at this. Just phenomenal work. Okay, let's solo out John's camera here.
Yeah. I'm on it. Look at this.
Look at it's not a tiny thing. It's big. I mean,
only $99. No wait.
Only
no,
11.
I think it's less than that.
Okay.
The company in China makes it. The arms are held on with earth magnets.
By magnets.
Wow.
And then
that looks
together with the other sculptures. So that's what those are.
I mean, Sarah commented here as well that she's seen these characters, your characters before, and I'm like, wait, there's something about them. I think I've seen it before. I'm not sure, but I think I have. And with how you're talking, it seems like it's really way more popular than I might even imagine it being.
Yeah.
Maybe
John,
the Facebook stickers, maybe
possibly.
You know, and that's part of design is designing in a little bit of familiarity to a character.
I'm with Allison. I want that big guy over there, that big figure there, for sure.
Yeah, and John, I just want to let you know, Sarah hails from Egypt. So she's seen your art in Egypt before the show. So I just want to tell you the reach that you have is like maybe people didn't know exactly what DWEORES was or who you are, but we're gonna make it our mission to make sure that the masses and our audience get to see who you are.
Gonna help. We are gonna help at least. And I suggest people reading this. Remember, this will stay on YouTube. So share the link with your friends, man. Let them know that there's something incredible like this out there.
Yeah, it's awesome. So just a reminder to everybody, in the scrolling ticker below, that's how you can follow him on Instagram and Facebook. You can email him directly there. If you go to the top, if you go to the top of the comment section, I listed both the Behance page as well as the Comixology page. So let's actually look at the Comixology page. So let me share that. And share screen and Chrome tab. Here we go. So this is the important part. I want everybody to go here. This is the Comixology page. It is, like I said, it's in the comments field, so you can look. You can actually look. If you go to Comixology, you can type in DWEORES, and I'm sure you can find it that way by going to the search. But if you need the direct link, it is in the comments field at the very top. Yeah. So Heidi says she needs them too. So I think we all need a little DWEOR in our lives, right? We all need that. I think you are not human if you can't look at a DWEOR piece of artwork or sculpture and not feel happy and not feel like there's a happy place that you can go to and it's all been encapsulated in this little sculpture. So
Heidi is, as some people might know, a personal friend of mine. She works. She leads her unit of scouts here in Denmark. So her reach can go far out with the. You might become well famous here in Denmark shortly, John.
I will rule Denmark.
Yes, exactly. Yep. So you're gonna have a big fan base in Denmark and Egypt. That will be it.
Denmark and Egypt, you'll come.
Denmark and Egypt. And of course that elementary school in Arizona. Those are the three big hot spots for John and his artwork. So yes, and so this is what I want people to look at. Check this out. What kind of risk can you take by spending 99 cents on something? And it's not even a risk. Like I said, you got to see his artwork. You got to hear it from John. John is such a great guy. There is no risk involved here. You will love it. You got to see what the artwork is. And then once you do that, you're going to be addicted. This is DWEORES Book 0. Yeah, my mouth is getting chapped by saying this. I'm saying, all right, so we have this, and then we have DWEORES, the following books. So just check it out. I want everybody to
can
go there.
And go over them a little slower so we can see the price of each one.
I believe John said that it was $2.99. $2.99.
Yep.
Yeah, $2.99.
That's cheaper than a Marvel than a Marvel or DC book these days almost, and you get probably get more entertainment for the money there. Just saying, yeah, come at me, DC. I just said it.
It's like, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm an author. I'm an author.
Don't crush me, DC and Marvel.
Hey, you know what? That's what I love about this is what Comics Cast is all about. It's the independent creator. It's the little guy. We want to make sure that we get eyes on you guys because John is a phenomenal talent. He has a phenomenal IP, and these original characters are so cool. They're so cute, and I think that our audience ate it up. They all wanted to draw along and just learn more about these characters from John. So check this out. You can go to Comixology, type in DWEORES, and for 99 cents get that first book. But I encourage you all to go ahead and get the follow-up volumes for just $2.99. I mean, come on. For Starbucks coffee costs more than which, and you're gonna get more out of it. You're gonna get more out of it in terms of getting these.
It's easier to spell than pronounce.
Exactly. All right. With that being said, let me stop sharing the screen here. Okay. We're getting to that part of the show where. Oh wait, before I do that, Rick, did anybody else say that they drew along? Did anybody say
not from what I can tell, and I'm on the side. There's nothing new.
I just wanted to make sure that if there was anybody else who drew along, we want to make sure that we feature them and get them to show their appreciation and their love.
It's the same people
that
we showed earlier. So no one is left behind.
Okay, no one was left behind. That's always a good thing. So this is the part of the show where I get a little teary-eyed because this is we've rounded the corner and now we're gonna have to do the final thoughts and the Oscar speech. I call it the Oscar speech because this is just a point where, yes, John, we really do love you. We do love you. We love your artwork, and you can basically just, you can thank whoever you want. Your final thoughts. The mic is in your hands. Rick, did you want to say something?
Whoever you want.
Rick, my life has changed since I met you for the last hour. For the better, for a change for people. And so I look forward to being friends with you and both of you guys. This has been such a treat. And I really appreciate it because I just sit here in my little cave creating this world. And I've built enough where now it's large enough where I want to share it. and I'm real proud of the work, and I think it will be really fun. So, and I want to thank. You know what? I have a friend, Texas James, and I have all that stuff for Comic-Con, and I pile it all in a pickup truck. It is piled a mile high. It's the most unclassy thing you've ever seen. And it's all tied down. It's like the Beverly Hillbillies truck on stuff. I drive it to Comic-Con, and you park in the basement, and there's a tiny elevator. So you got to take one piece up at a time. He drives out from Texas. It's like a 2 or 3 day trip.
Wow.
Meets me there, helps me set up the whole booth, works the whole show with me, helps me tear down. And I met him. He was a fan who really liked the DWEORES. He started hanging around. We became good friends. And so he became a big supporter. And I'd like to thank Texas James. You know, great. Couldn't do without it. And so that's really great. And it's a super small indie project. But it's really fun at Comic-Con. My first customer every year is Sir Richards from Weta. He comes, and he's my first customer every year from Weta, who do all the special effects.
Wow.
And they buy whatever I have new every year, and him and his wife or his daughter come by. And that's another I'm blown away that they even know I'm alive. But he has my statues on his desk in New Zealand of the DWEORES.
Wow.
He sent me pictures of that. And so that's really cool. And I want to build this world and share it with you all. And it's going to be a positive, heartwarming adventure story that we can all share together. And so that's my Oscars. Thank you, everybody.
Well, that was phenomenal. It's always a treat to hear the final thoughts and the Oscar speech, because I hope you had a good time, because I had a great time showcasing you, and I think even the best around up here. I think he had a good time.
I will have to give the best around title away, because John he's the best around right now, because this has been great from the start to finish. I know we started a little late and we had a few small problems, but this has been really good. Just listening to everything you had to say, John, and I'm sure I'm gonna poke your brain a little in private as well with ideas and everything, because
that's what I love doing. Yeah, if you want to do some brainstorming, then
exactly.
Go. I look forward to it.
Yeah, it's. I think you're going to get a lot of emails, and I hope you get a lot of fans out of this, because I think at least the ones that
commission him, guys, commission him. He needs to do his first commission. Look at him. He's never been commissioned before.
Never been commissioned. 002.
Oh yeah. So get on that train, because get those early commissions, because I tell you, I'm gonna be the Swami and kind of predict that DWEORES is gonna blow up this year, and it's only gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. And we just added another country. You just said New Zealand. You have fans in New Zealand, so we got New Zealand, we got Egypt, we got Denmark. So it's you're international, man, international.
I know. Netflix, call me.
Exactly.
I was about to say I could easily see this work as an animated movie as well, animated TV show, for sure.
Yeah,
it has everything in it both for comics, both being a comic and an animated show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that what is the name of that studio? Is it Laika? The guys that the ones who did Fox Trolls. Yeah, I could totally. I could see your world being translated to that kind of style.
And even just keep your style, and make it easier to animate, but keep the style looking like yours can be done.
If they could do the box trolls. They can do
the fan art. It's working in other styles, right?
You can become the new Stardew Valley game.
And John has done video games. Didn't you? You told me. I don't. I think I might have glossed over. He's done video. Is it video game artwork, or did you do the video game concepts, or what was it?
I made costumes and props and control board textures. I really built them, and then we dressed the models and filmed in front of blue screens. Then we filmed all the props, all handmade props for some video games. So it's really fun. So I can't.
You just do it all, don't you, Mister? I am getting a little tired of hearing what you can do. It's a little. Okay. No, it's great. It's great. It's amazing to listen to, and I aspire to become somewhat like you that just keeps on doing what he wants to do and have fun with it. And it's great. It's great.
Mm-hmm. All right, so like all good things, they eventually have to come to an end. But what I'm going to promise our Let It Out crew, our Let It Out viewers, is that the door is open for John to come back anytime. Because I was privy to some top secret hush hush things that John is focusing on DWEORES right now. But that is not the limit of what you can see from John. John has some more IPs, and he showed me some of those original characters there, but he wants to focus on DWEORES, because if DWEORES can take off, if DWEORES can be huge, then that's only going to give more fuel to the fire, more money in the bank to help produce more of these creative things that are floating around in his head, that are already actually on paper. Like I said, I got to see it, but I want people to not focus on the future just yet. Let's focus on the present. Let's get DWEORES in every household, from here to New Zealand to Egypt. I want everybody to and Denmark, of course. I want everybody to just
So John, you give Djævel all these secrets, and I'm just left here alone. What the hell?
Yes, you are. You're just
no.
So
I guess I just have to wait. And I know
you do. I actually couldn't even I only got to preview it. I don't even have copies of it. It's so hush hush that John just flashed it on the screen. He just flashed it on the screen real quickly. I know that.
And I erased his memory with my.
Yes, he did. He did it. He had his Men in Black memory eraser. He flashed it, and I just have a vague recollection of actually talking to him about it and just remembering that it was so phenomenal that the world is not ready yet.
You don't need that memory eraser for Djævel to forget.
Okay, I want to say that this is the reason why I love having Rick on the show, because he definitely can bring me down a notch every time. He keeps me grounded. That's the word. He keeps me grounded.
While I'm so high myself.
Yeah, he's definitely high on himself. Exactly. So let's close out the show. This is the part of the show where we actually recognize a charity that we definitely love and is very important to us. So let me pull up that screen, and this is an organization that I like to say is big enough and small enough at the same, or small enough and big enough at the same time. That organization is called Golden Fight. Golden Fight is a charitable organization that is small. It's not nationwide. It's very focused in the Mid-Atlantic region of, like, in my neck of the woods, which is the like I said, the Mid-Atlantic. It's Virginia, Maryland, DC, and they're small. So that means that they have a tight focus, and they have, I guess, a smaller operational cost, but allows them to be very, very focused. And what is that focus? This is where they're really big. The focus is on families that are dealing or have children that are dealing with difficult illnesses like cancer. And often when those families are dealing with, or those parents are focusing on the healing of their child, the treatment of their child, financial difficulties will happen. They will come about, and that's where Golden Fight comes in. And they're big. They're super huge when it comes to this. 97% of the money that they raise goes directly to the family. I mean, that's phenomenal. That means that 2 or 3% that they do have to keep, it's only for administrative things. It's for just, the existence of being a charity, to make sure that they can cover some of those administrative things. In fact, a lot of the leadership does this volunteer. that shows their commitment, because they've been in the shoes of these parents that are dealing with these difficult situations with their child. They either have been in their shoes, or they know people that have experience in that, and that's why they're donating their time to this really worthy cause. So I encourage everybody to check that out. Let me flash the let me show the
word of the day is flash.
Yeah, the word of the day is flash. Here we go. So if you look here below, it's goldinfight.org. I encourage everybody to check it out. Now, we are not we're not financially tied to them. We don't get paid to do this. We do this because we believe in them, and that my co-founder for Comics Cast, Joe Tolliver, he's good friends with the leadership that is behind this organization, so he knows who they are. And I encourage you guys to check it out. They are a class act organization. You will be able to see what they're about. Check out the website. You can see the people and the children that they touch, and they bring joy to a very difficult situation that these children are going through. So check them out. You don't have to donate. It's just to give awareness to them. So if you know anybody that wants to support a charitable cause, this is one of them. Forward it along. If you do have it within your means and you'd like to support a worthy cause, this would be one of them as well.
I did, even though I don't live in the country, I supported them a little. Like, I think it was end of last year. I mean, it's worth it.
Thank you so much, Rick. That means a lot to me. And
I didn't do it because I wanted to thank you, but yeah.
Right.
I just have to say, as a Dane, we get this for free. Like, so it's still a little boom to me. It's to me that it has to be supported and paid for, like in other places. It's not a discussion that we should start, but it's just weird. So I'm like, of course we have to support this. So that's what I did, even though it's not even in my country. It's like, of course this needs support. This is children.
Yeah, well, that is definitely an interesting point, but it just goes to show that even though our economic systems are different, there are organizations like Golden Fight and other charitable organizations that show that wherever things are different, there is charitable people and organizations that pick up that, and the Golden Fight is that organization, at least for helping this little part of our country. So I really appreciate that. Check them out; they're a great organization. So. Man, I'm holding back the tears. They're welling up in my eyes right now. So, John, thank you so much. I told you the door is open, especially when you're ready to talk about, when Netflix has signed you or Disney signs you, or Leica, I don't know, whoever it is.
Yeah, just remember your people, John. When you get big, just remember who helped you.
Remember the days.
I know who's in charge.
Exactly. When you're ready to tell us that when you get that call, I expect to get the second call after you call your mom, and you call me and say, "Hey, Gerald, I want to be on the show because I have a great announcement."
No, Gerald, he's gonna call you and say, "Hey, Gerald, do you know Rick's number?"
And you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say, "No, I don't know Rick's number." just tell me. But anyway, Rick and I are going to be so thrilled when we hear that, because I think it's going to happen, and I would love to have you back on the show when you're ready to drop the new IPs, those new intellectual properties with those new characters. The door is open to you to come back here, because I think our audience wants to see more of John and what.
Oh yeah, the audience says this is fantastic, and they want to see you, hang with you again.
Yes, exactly. There's so much love that is going. It's all coming up to you, to you, John. So, that being said, I'm gonna flash the word of the day. Flash. I can't get it out of my head. It's gonna be DWEORES on Flash. I can't get that out of my head. Anyway, I'm going to show John's contact information one more time, because now you can not watch us. You can go check this out right here. You can leave and go check out his Facebook page, his Instagram. You can email him, get those commissions. Go to Comixology. Go buy his book. Oh, before I forget, before we sign out, Rick, I forgot completely. Let me throw the mic back up to you, because I wanted to I want to talk to people about the special new thing that's coming soon. So Rick, John, you get to hear about this too. So our audience that's here, listen to Rick, because Rick has some really cool news to talk about. So Rick,
Listen
tell
to
us about
Rick.
your. Go ahead, Rick.
So coming March, I will have my first show where I'll be hosting. There will be no annoying co-hostess with me. And the best thing is, it's all about art. People that know me knows that I come from a place where I love helping others grow in their artistic journeys. And with this show, I'm proud to say it's now a possibility. I will get students from all over the internet. You can comment me, DM me if you want to join, and I'll pair you up with well-known, yes, I said well-known artists, mentors. We're talking potentially Robert Marzullo, potentially Jomaro Kindred, potentially something with Finch, maybe. Names like that, Ed Foychuk. Yeah, I could go on. It'll be big names coming in, helping potentially you getting better. One show for an hour, you'll be alone with that mentor. It'll be on YouTube afterwards for everybody to enjoy. So look forward to it. I know I do.
So that's great, Rick.
That's that for now.
Okay. Rick is a man of few words, but I just want to let you know that is a great intro. That's a good pitch for what
Sorry,
you can see.
I need to put that joke in. So what you're saying is that DWEORES open to you. The door's open to you.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, so well, maybe John could be one of those featured mentors. I think that's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
potentially.
You're right, Roy. I will have Joel as a student. He needs it.
Yes, that's exactly right. Definitely, I will be the student, no matter what it is. You can pair me up with John. Can be a mentor, and he can teach me the ways of the DWEORE. I
know who the mentor. I know who the mentor is. Victor Rufino.
Oh, there you go. So, that's a little. John doesn't know who Victor is, but Victor is just a mutual friend of Rick and I, and he's definitely a super talent. And one day I would love to I'm going to introduce all of my friends who have not seen John's work. I'm going to say,
I'm here. I am.
Yeah, we're gonna spread the word. We're gonna, and if there were mountaintops around here, I'd be on the mountaintop going, "You must know John and DWEORE." Yeah. It's like freedom. So we're gonna make sure that we sing your praises from the mountaintops to let you know. So I'm glad that we remembered to say that. I'm gonna go back to John, and we're gonna end it on that. John's information is right here. Go there. Go to Comixology. Buy the book. You won't be disappointed. So that being said, Rick, did you have one more thought?
Tell people to sub to our YouTube.
Oh, yes, exactly. Remember, if we can get, I don't know if we got to the 15 yet. If we needed go to Indie Comics Cast on YouTube. Get those 15 more that we need, and Comics Cast will commission that guy to do artwork that you guys can have. So go there. Please subscribe to Indie Comics Cast, because you can be a part of something that's going to be super huge, super big. It's going to be unleashed on the world. Everybody's going to love it. And that is DWEORES, John Ottinger, and Rick. Take us out. We love you at Comics Cast. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and we will see you next Sunday. Love you all.